From the Raw Boxing TV studios, your host, Ranger. Information may cause headaches to hates or biased casual fan. The host that gives you facts with very little feelings. From the city of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee, Louisville, Kentucky. It's showtime.
Welcome once again to Raw Boxing TV. I want to thank you for absolutely separating time out of your day to spend some time with your boy. Today, we're going to do it as always. Welcome to the building, MMA champ, Puerto Rico and Rome. Welcome to the building, man. Thank you for being here. Andres Rodriguez. Thank you, my friends, for separating some time and spend it here with your boy. We're going to have some pretty interesting subjects to talk about today. We're also going to have a fighter crash the party. I've already established it. Cano Loco Sports. What's going on, my brother? Everybody go and subscribe to Cano Loco Sports, the encyclopedia when it comes to up and coming young prospects. Just go over there. I don't care if you leave my life. Hit the subscribe button. Activate his notification bell so that you know when he uploads. And then come back to your boy. I'm not going to get mad. Freely I've been given. So freely shall we give. All right, Rod. What's up, my brother? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I know it's a busy day. A lot of channels that we like are going to go live. I'm sorry myself that I'm going to have to miss views that I like from channels that I like because I got to do mine. That's one of the things that we run into from time to time. Black and Brown Boxing in the building. What's up, my brother? Everybody go and subscribe also to this great content creator, Black and Brown Boxing in the building. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've read the title. We got to talk about it. There are some things to clarify. There are some things to put in perspective. There are some things that need to be said, unbiased, as logical as possible, as fair as possible. We're going to wait a few minutes here to see while people start catching up and start coming in here. Like I said, I know it's going to be a tough one. But for those that just made it in, we're going to talk about this tonight. Have a pretty chill, relaxed show. I will be sharing the link. I'm going to have a fighter crash into the party later on. Undefeated prospect, PBZ's own, Maidel Sando. He's just 3 hours south of me. I was supposed to have him previously on the show. Then something happened due to the fact that, remember that bomb that went off in Nashville, Tennessee? He's from Nashville. And then something happened with his daughters. And, hey, family comes first 100% of the time. And so we've been talking back and forth. And he's going to be crashing in. I told him just whenever. And if he can't, he can't. But I'm pretty sure he will this time around. And the link will be there. I mean, we'll do it the same way. You guys will be able to come in, ask the brother whatever kind of question you want. He can give you his social media outlets and all that stuff. But he's going to crash the party today. I want to thank my wife for making me this delicious coffee to energize your boy as I try to bring you some content. Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building. What's going on, my brother? Thank you for spending some time with me. I'm pretty sure there's some better things you could be doing, but you chose to spend some time right here with your boy. Appreciate you, man. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, you have read the title. Jermoll Charlo has absolutely said that he will not fight any fights 25 or below. And whomever he fights has to be COVID vaccinated. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally don't find Nothing absolutely wrong with what he said. I do find it a bit contradicting, though. I do find it a bit weird since he's a man that's been chasing the fight versus Canelo Alvarez, chasing the fight versus the big ones of the division, wanting himself to be great. I found it a bit odd, and we'll go into that, you know. And like I said, we're going to try to remain as unbiased as possible. We're going to try to remain as respectful as possible, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which fighter you like. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whose side are you on. At the end of the day, none of that matters. You know, at the end of the day, all of these fighters, most of these fighters, deserve nothing but respects. But Jermoll Charlo, I think on a live stream, he stated, "Look, I wouldn't fight nobody that's 25 or under," stating that automatically leaves Benavidez out because Benavidez is less than 25 years of age. Now, I don't know if he was being sarcastic or if he actually meant it, but as of now, that's all we got to run on. But it seems a bit contradicting to me because at the end of the day, man, he has been coming out publicly to say that he thinks he can knock out David Benavidez. He actually said he'll fight Benavidez and put his 160-pound title on the line. And no, the fight doesn't have to take place at 160 for the title to be on the line. It's happened in the past. Do your research. It is absolutely happened in the past. Just like to remind you guys, for those that are just coming in, you can follow me on Twitter at RawBoxingTV, Instagram at RawBoxingTV. If you want to financially support the channel, the Cash App is $RawBoxingTV. And I want to send a quick shout out to D Styles for hooking a brother up with this little banner right here. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I was very happy when he hooked me up with that. I hope everybody likes it. Whether you're Cuban or not, it doesn't really matter. Today, we're citizens of Raw Nation, not citizens of anywhere else. But yeah, man, he said, "I will not fight anybody that's 25 years or under." You're right, Kano. You're absolutely right. Tank versus Cruz is a great example of what I just said. And a lot of people, and I'm glad you're sharing that, because a lot of people actually don't believe it when we say things like that. A lot of people actually are fixated on the fact that if the title makes you a champion at a certain weight division, then only at that weight division should that title be put on the line, or is allowed to be put on the line. And at the end of the day, it's not 100% true. It's not. So there's a great example shared to you by Counter Local Sports. He made those statements that he's willing to move up. Benavidez does not have to come down. And even if he called Benavidez to go down, dare I say, it would be an impossible task, because Benavidez, I don't think he can go down that low. So to tell him to come down to 160 and fight me would almost be a duck without saying I'm ducking the brother. So he said, I'll move up. I'll fight him. I think I can knock him out. Hell, I'll even put my 160-pound title on the line. Then he goes and says, well, I ain't fighting nobody that's 25 or under. Benavidez is in that category. And on top of that, whoever fights me needs to get the COVID shot. What are the problems with that? The first problem is that if you are coming out publicly challenging a fighter, that the minute you challenged him, he didn't keep his mouth shut. The minute you challenged him, he came with a public reply and said, hey, let's do it, man. And he set up a date. He gave you a date for the fight. No. He didn't say, oh, let's negotiate. No. He just said, let's do it. Let's do it this month. Public call out. Public reply, public challenge accepted. Which shows you the brother is not playing around. He ain't here to play around. Shows you Benavidez is not here to play around. Benavidez is here strictly, let's get this business rolling. And I can always appreciate a fighter with that throwback mentality. I've said this plenty of time. Guido, República Dominicana. What's up, my brother? Welcome to the building, man. So if you call a fighter out and say, listen, I can go to your weight division. I will fight you. I will knock you out. But then you say, but I ain't going to fight nobody that's 25 or under, when the very fighter you just publicly called out and he replied immediately within 10 minutes and gave you a date to set up the fight. When that fighter qualifies as an under 25 fighter, you're saying you're going to knock him out. I'm moving on to your weight division, but I won't fight you because you're 25, under 25. It absolutely creates a contradiction. In the eyes of the fans, it could come out as a duck, as clout chasing. Keep in mind, I am not saying this is the case. Welcome, Eddie Landy 904. What's up, my brother? What's up, my brother? Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Happy to see you around here, man. Sorry I missed your call the other day or your text. I got random schedules, man. But you know we're here, brother. I'm going to be dropping the link later on. We're supposed to have a Cuban prospect crash into the building here in the next hour or less. So stay tuned, people. MMA champ. God bless you as well, my brother. Salute, brother. Thank you for being here. Hey, man. I appreciate that, man. We're here. You're one of my OG subscribers. You've been here from the beginning of time. If you go back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, you're there with me. To go back to what I was saying, man, let me put it in this example. If, say, I call Cano Loco Sports. Let's say Cano Loco Sports is 30 years of age, which I'm pretty sure that he's not, but let's just, for the sake of the video, let's just say he is. Let's say Cano Loco Sport is one of the most feared fighters in his division. Crazy power in his hands. Lost his belt, never to anybody. He just lost the belt due to some missing weight. Oh, dang. Thanks for reminding me, man. I will for a fact. So I tell Cano Locos, hey, listen, Cano. I'm going to go. Que hola, Javi. Jai, que hola, Hierro. Ahorita voy a tirar el link. And we're going to have a Cuban prospect crash into the building pretty soon, too, in the video. So all of you that are here, you know, stay here, man. You guys will be able to come in, ask the brother some questions, same way we did it the other day. He actually speaks very good English, so no need for me to translate at all. You guys will be able to chop it up with him. So just stay tuned. We're going to get there. As of now, we're just decompressing about a few things. We're going to talk about this whole Charlo ordeal. I've been talking about it for now about 15 minutes. We'll go into some of these jokes that are taking place in the sport of boxing right now. But listen, if I tell Cano Loco Sports, listen, let's say Cano Loco Sports is 30 years of age. He's one of the toughest fighters in his division. And I tell Cano Locos, listen, bruh, I'm going to go to your weight division. I'm going to knock you the hell out. Put up my 160-pound title on the line. But I ain't trying to fight nobody that's under 35 years of age. Where does that leave Cano? Cano is 30. One of the greatest, one of the best fighters of his division. I just publicly challenged him. Cano automatically replies to me, giving me a date, accepting the challenge publicly. The whole boxing world saw it. And then I say, listen, bruh, I ain't trying to fight nobody that's under 35. If I say that, then that automatically eliminates the very fighter I was publicly challenging. It absolutely does. Hey, brother, you ain't got to learn Spanish. All you got to do is tune in, ask your question in English, and I'll be the translator, man. Oh, no, no, no. See here at Raw Nation, man. Here at Raw Boxing TV, I don't want you with no pressure. I want you enjoying everything. So you just, even if you didn't spoke no English, you just chop it in English, and I'll be the translator, brother. Just want you guys to relax, enjoy the content. Jesus M, que hola, hierro. Que onda? Thank you for being here, brother. Nobody wants the David smoke. Seems to be the case. Or maybe it's not the right time. Maybe it's not the right time. So I tell Cano Locos, listen, dog. I want to knock you out, man. I'm gonna move up to your division, and I'm gonna knock you out. Not only I'm gonna knock you out, I'm gonna put my belt on the line. G Funky in the building. Everybody subscribe to G Funky. Everybody subscribe to G Funky. Not only, and just to remind you guys, I got a fighter crashing in the party. The link will go public. You guys will be able to come in and ask them questions yourself. I tell Cano Locos, listen, dude, I'm not only gonna move to your weight, I'm not only gonna knock you out, but I'm gonna put my belt on the line. Now, Cano Locos is 30 years of age, but then I hit him with the bomb but I ain't trying to fight nobody under 35 years of age and has to have the COVID shot. Automatically, that eliminates Cano from the picture, completely from the picture. It either completely eliminates Cano from the picture, or he just basically says, Cano, I'm still going to wait on you for another couple years till you turn 35. It makes no sense. It's clout chasing or ducking. Which one of the two is it? Now, I'm not affirming neither or as the case. I'm simply putting it in perspective that could be how a fan might see that. Because I ain't going to be calling out a fighter if I'm not going to fight him. That's just, I don't know if it's cultural. I don't know if it's the way I am. If I call you out and you publicly reply, listen, if you publicly reply, it's on like Donkey Kong, brother. That simple. He said he's in his 50s. Hey, man, I was trying to make you feel better, man. Hit you with a 30, just take your mind back to them years, unless those weren't good years for you, you know what I mean? So, but I was trying to make you feel good. I get what you're saying, brother. No, but the whole point of this is like, I'm just not gonna. Rob Rodriguez, what is going on, my brother? Welcome once again. Thank you for taking your time to be here. We got a fighter coming up in the chat, and you guys will be able to ask the questions, brother. So once Cano Locos Sports hears me say, I'm not fighting nobody that's under 35, and he knows that he's 30, and he knows that that I just challenged him, told him I was going to knock him out, told him I was going to move to his weight division, told him I was going to give him a chance, and I was going to put my belt on the line. And then Cano Locos Sports replied with an acceptance to my challenge, and not only that, but a date in which we can do this. Shoe Shine in the building. Go and hit that subscribe button to that channel. Great content coming up to that channel. Shoe Shine Boxing in the building, man. Once Cano Loco has replied with a challenge, with a date, I come back and I say, nah, listen, dude. Also, I ain't trying to fight nobody that's under 35 years of age, and he's 30. It automatically eliminates him. All of a sudden, the challenge is worthless. The entire talk on social media, it's worthless. It holds no weight. It holds no water. Some people say he was being sarcastic. Other people say, nah, he was being for real. Other people say, nah, he's not trying to fight him. It's all talk. My whole thing is this. Let's get into this a little deeper now. Appreciate you to the wifey. Always hooking me up with a nice coffees. Let's get into it for a second. If I'm trying to fight Canelo Alvarez, track with me for a second. If I'm trying to fight Canelo Alvarez, if I truly believe I could beat Canelo Alvarez, if I'm hungry for success, if I'm hungry to be the D guy, the main dog, and I wanted to fight him at 154, I'm glad, Canos. I'm glad all your years have been good. I tell people all the time, all your years can be good, even the ones you consider bad, because even the bad things in your life shape you up to be the man you are today. And if you're breathing, everything is good, even though it doesn't seem so. Major Key Boxing in the building. What's up, my brother? Everybody go and subscribe to this brother, man. He puts out content from time to time, and it's unbiased as hell. So go out there and give him some energy, bro. All of a sudden, if I'm trying to fight Canelo, if I'm trying to reach greatness, if I was trying to fight him at 154, and for X reason, the fight couldn't happen, the brother moves up because he's also chasing glory. And he has a higher status than me. Therefore, he's not obligated to wait for me, right? He moves up. So the opportunity of fighting him just all of a sudden disappears because I stay at 154. He moves up to 160. Then I'm in 160. He's up there 175, then drops to 168, becomes the champ. But I'm still trying to get that smoke from him. And as of now, I haven't done anything significant enough that would place me as a must versus Canelo Alvarez. And don't get me wrong, I would love to see that fight. But you know one fight that will excite me even more? Benavidez Canelo. And I know it's not going to take place for now because Canelo's objective is unification of the current weight division in which he's fighting, which is 168 pounds. And so with that being said, we're not going to see Benavidez for the next 2 or 3 fights. It's just not going to happen. JC in the building. Thank you for being here, brother. Andres Rodriguez, again, once again, thank you for being here as well. Philly Irish Drew Evo. What's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. Charlo, let's see. Charlo should just move up. Is that Triple G? Don't want to. Could be. Okay, so could be. But we just don't know. But I'm simply saying, right now, Canelo has in mind unifications, meaning that for the next 2 fights, 3 fights, we're not going to see him versus no Benavidez. We're not going to see him versus Charlo. We're going to see him either against Plant or we're going to see him either against Billy Joe Saunders. If I truly want Canelo, if I truly want to eliminate any exit holes in the wall, in the room, you know what I do? The same thing Holyfield did to Mike Tyson. Y'all remember that? How many of you remember everything Holyfield did to get Mike Tyson? No, he didn't ask for it. He didn't say I deserve it because I was the best cruiserweight there ever was. No, he put in the work. Rap star in the building. Rap star in the building. What's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. The link will be dropping pretty soon, guys. Also, we're going to have a fighter crashing into the party pretty soon, and you guys will be able to just ask him questions yourself. He speaks English. He's a Cuban prospect, undefeated on the PBC. And let me text him right now. So Holyfield went around asking for Tyson. You got to remember the Holyfield was one of the most decorated, if not the best cruiserweight that has ever lived, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Holyfield didn't do anything that these fighters are doing today. You fight me or you scared. Nah, you trying to duck my smoke. Nah. Holyfield went around everybody that Mike Tyson fought. When Holyfield went around catching them and destroying them, making them look even worse outboxing them and then knocking them out. Because a lot of the hardcore boxing fans, yeah, they might enjoy a quick knockout. They might enjoy a brutal knockout. But they might also enjoy even more if you take that opponent, give him a boxing lesson, and then eliminate him the way that Holyfield was doing. And it just so happened to be that he was doing that to the very fighters that Mike Tyson was fighting. So people started talking. Wait a minute. Holyfield says he wants Mike Tyson. And as of now, he's doing better against his Tyson opponents than Tyson did, even though Tyson beat him as well. It got to the point that the pressure got to him. It got to the point where there was no way out, and the fight had to happen, and the rest was history. So my question to the Charlos, or to Charlo, or to whoever wants to fight the top dog in the division, whether it's Canelo today, Benavidez tomorrow, Saunders tomorrow, whoever. I was going to say Plant, but that would be. My question to you, fighter, if you're ever watching this, why not eliminate whatever excuse stands in the way of you reaching the glory that you're after? So when you eliminate those excuses, now fans have something to look forward to. Not just talk, not just a bunch of YouTubers calling your name and putting you in a pedestal that probably you don't even belong. But now they got evidence because they've been seeing you at the same weight division as the man, completely destroying his opposition. Why not fight Benavidez in the undercard of Canelo? Maybe not now, but in September. Ooh, can you imagine that? Ooh, can you imagine that? Benavidez versus Charlo, co-main event to Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders, and go out there and knock Benavidez out on the co-main event where the crowd is full of Mexicans and Latinos and hardcore fighters, hardcore fans. You knock the brother out in front of his people. The guy who is considered one of the most dangerous guys at 168 pounds. You get him out of the way. You have caused an impact in the eyes of the public. And that day, after you done knocked Benavidez out, you grab that microphone and you call Canelo and challenge him in front of his people. Do like Chael Sonnen did to Anderson Silva, where he grabbed that mic and said, "Anderson Silva, you absolutely disgust me and you are a shame to the Brazilian people." The pressure got to the brother and he had to fight him. And he was eliminating everything that stood in the way. And that's simply what we as hardcore boxing fans are asking for. That's all we're asking for. Also, man, hey, yo, Serrano deserves. Amanda Serrano, to me, walking female Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Rap star. Those fights not going to happen until 2022. But rap star, even if it's true, even if it is 2022, we're still not far off. Think about it. Let's just be comfortable. I'm simply saying, brother, if I'm trying to fight Kano, let's say Kano, and I keep using Kano because one of the first ones that came in. If I'm trying to fight Kano because he's the top dog of the division, but Kano is not interested in me because he doesn't need me. He's interested on unifications. And rightfully so. Any fighter would like to be the unified champion of the world at whatever weight division. But I want Kano, but Kano doesn't need me. I need Kano's attention. But Kano needs something. Kano doesn't want to feel like he's the only one bringing something to the table. Kano wants to feel like even his opponent is bringing something to the table so that when the fight takes place, the purse is great, the impact is great, and the pay-per-view sales are great. And I know that to reach Kano, he'll either have to accept a direct fight with me, or maybe I should just go around defeating every single fighter in the division that's considered dangerous. And maybe I should accept to fight under his undercard, maybe get my promoters to do a co-promotional with Kano's promoters. And then I can knock another Puerto Rican out that night in front of Puerto Rican crowds. And then after I knock that Puerto Rican out, I can say in front of the Puerto Rican crowd, Cano Loco Sports, you are an embarrassment to Puerto Rico. These people should be ashamed of you. You are scared of me. Tonight, I challenge you. I guarantee you, that same night after Cano finishes his fight, that same night, they're going to be talking about this fight. Oye, papi, ese tipo me retó alante mi gente. No, así no. No, pónganse de acuerdo. Get together and make this fight happen. I got to get this guy's head. And I got to do it in front of my people. He challenged me in front of my people. I got to do it in front of my people. That's how I would do it. But instead, we keep hearing all this talk about, yeah, he ducking me. He ducking me. Yeah, Kano ducking me. Maybe Kano's not ducking you. Maybe you just don't bring enough to the table. Maybe your best opponent was a Devrinchenko. Maybe. Maybe you got to put in some work, my friend. Because when you say you won the top dog of that division, now you're talking about a guy that's been fighting since the age of 15 at a professional level. You're talking about a guy that caught 3 titles in a span of 11 months. You're talking about a guy that's a 4-division world champion. Here it is. Here's the fighter. What is going on, my brother?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, doing okay, man. Hey, do me a favor if you can flip your phone on the side so we can get the let's see.
What you mean?
Oh, that your video is not flipping.
How they gonna do it?
Oh, it's okay. Just leave it like
the
that.
video is not.
Just leave it like that. It's all good. What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, not much, man. Just over here now in Florida, man, getting ready for my little fight. You know, the 20th.
Oh, who you fighting on the 20th?
I'm fighting a guy named Clay Collard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fighting that guy.
I haven't heard of him, but I'm pretty sure should be.
He's been around. You know, had a couple upsets. So yeah, decide.
So they trying to see if he can upset you? Is that what they trying to do?
Nah, man. It was more like, you know, that fight just came up, and you know.
Yeah, you got to take what's out there.
Yeah.
You got to take what's out there. Yeah, man. I was seeing a video today. You down in Miami, man? Just putting in some work. You're at Mundo
Boxing. Yeah.
You down there with Pedro Luis Diaz?
Nah. Pedro Diaz. He's in camp right now with one of his fighters. So, but I got to work with the Spain. So, you know, which is.
Yeah, the Spain's coming up as a good coach, man. He
is, man, and you know he got all that Cuban school. So you know I'm freaking.
Yeah, he came late into the pro game. He wasn't as successful, I'm sure, as that he would have liked it to be. But it is what it is, you know. It's coming up as a hell of a coach, man.
Oh yeah, man, and you know he was a great amateur. So you know.
Yeah, for sure.
From that Cuban team, so you know.
So, okay, so talk to me, man. How's things down in Nashville? I know that after all that bombing and stuff went out, that the family went through.
Oh no, man, no. I actually, bro, that was like, let me see, like 20 minutes from where I stay at. So
okay,
I didn't even know anything until I think you called me and told me, like I was like lost until I turned the TV on, man, and I seen all that crazy stuff. And and the phones line wasn't working for a while.
Yeah.
But everything, man, thank God everything was good, you know.
Good. So let me ask you a question. have you done a full camp for this, or you just now started preparing?
No. Like I've been already training.
Okay.
I've been training in Nashville, and this was more like man, let's go to Florida, and we spoke to them a while back when I was here in November.
Gotcha.
And me and my advisor really, man, we was like, man, let's go ahead and make it happen. So we're gonna be over here just to tweak, just tweak a little things, and all that.
Now, is James Doolin going to work your corner, or you got somebody else? Despite going to work your corner?
Nah. He's as of now, man, he's not going to work my corner.
Okay.
We kind of like went separate ways, really.
I hear you. I fought for him when I was a youngster, and I didn't last in his gym a lot. So
from what I'm hearing, nobody has.
Yeah.
And I know why, and you know why. So
correct.
Correct.
So who's working your corner now? Who's going to be working this fight?
The Spaniard might be working it.
Okay.
The Spaniard might be working it. But that's not a for sure thing now. But I believe he might be working it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be a bad idea though, because he does have that boxing IQ, man.
Yeah, he does.
Bad idea.
He does, and it only makes sense because that's the person I'm working with right now. My last weeks, so
correct.
So we might.
So let me ask you a question, man. You're under PBC still, right?
Nah, man. I was never like under PBC. Oh. That was more of a fight, that Luis de Cuba.
Oh, okay. So you were Luisito.
And senior, and Luisito Junior, like, but
because they announced you as a PBC fighter, and that's why I was like, oh.
Yeah, no. Hopefully, soon something like that would happen. But I got
you got out there
like a contract, something that with dueling that is kind of like holding me back.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro. So me not knowing anything when I jumped in this boxing game, went ahead and
oh, he did you like that, man.
He did me like that. So
are you serious?
Yeah, bro. And once I realized how messed up the contract was, and I was like, wow, bro, like you ain't, you basically want me trapped,
Yeah. Man.
But yeah, man, that's the issue right now.
Damn. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions here just so the people can start getting to know you. And then they want to ask you some questions. So I'm going to be taking a few of them in one by one, and they'll ask you some questions, and just have fun with us for a little
bit. Yeah, of course.
You're busy, So for those that don't know you, you started boxing in Cuba, but you didn't have a long career in Cuba.
Nah, I basically, man, I've been here longer than Cuba. I've been here since I was 10 years old. Started boxing in Cuba when I was like 8. Then my family, moved over here in 99.
Gotcha.
So, been here for a minute and basically started my amateur career when I was 18 because there was no gyms in Nashville. Couldn't really find a gym. And, I had that 10-year gap, Yeah, I know. So started back up and turned pro a couple years ago.
And now you have a very interesting story because your coach, the guy that got you started, got shot and killed. Is that correct?
Yeah. My first, the one that taught me everything from the beginning and how to throw a jab and everything was my father.
Okay.
But when when I came out here, moved out here, I met Lauren Ross when I was like 17, and we clicked, and man, he did everything as an amateur. He didn't win a gold medal, but he done everything as an amateur, everything you can name off. So he got murdered in 2013. Got shot five times. Then they haven't found who did it yet.
Wow.
So and now I'm kind of like stop boxing really. I was like and this other coach, he was like, "Hey man, you need to be boxing," and jump back in there. But little later, that's when I went pro.
Gotcha. Because you did
Yeah,
have a loss in your career due to that situation with your late coach. Did you
yeah,
went
man.
did that have any psychological effect on you? Did you went through any type of depression, or did you just lost taste for the game because
I lost taste. Yeah, I lost the taste. I lost taste of the game, like because he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there, but I still hear him, man. I hear him every day. I run or whatever. I hear him. All the stuff. Because when I met him, that's when I really was like, man, this dude knows what he's talking about.
yeah,
And yeah, that was like one of the biggest teachers I had in my boxing career. The biggest influence.
gotcha.
Yeah,
So so you're obviously 31, I believe 31, right?
31. Yeah,
30. So you're 9-0 with
10-0,
10-0 with
seven knockouts.
seven knockouts, correct.
Yeah,
So obviously every fighter wants greatness.
of course.
It's safe to assume that you have a good 5-year window to reach what you want and
Yeah,
remain healthy.
yeah.
So that means hard work and dedication should be a part of your everyday. Is that something that you're focused on? Is that something that you wake up every day knowing, yo,
Oh,
I'm stick to this game, I gotta eat this gym up?
oh yeah, man. That's something one, man. I got 31 years old, but never been cut, never been knocked down, never been beat up.
Mhm.
And and I take care of myself. I don't drink or none of that. Don't smoke. So yeah, this couple years, man, I gotta, it's like I can't make really no mistakes. Ain't no room for mistakes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I go in there in the gym and try to learn, something each day. Get better. But yeah, man, my goal is to be a champion, and be among the greats. At
Of
168
course.
or whatever. And get that title shot.
Man, you're in a tough weight division, bruh.
It's a tough one, man.
So listen,
It's
I
crazy.
keep asking you questions, but I'm gonna let the audience ask you some questions
Yeah.
because I don't want to risk stealing any questions from them. So I'm gonna shoot the link, guys. People, get your questions up and get them ready. Come in here. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. And talk to the future champ, man. But yeah, man, you're in a tough weight division. Morel Jr. is there too, another compatriota.
I know, man. I know. He's. I was in camp with him, man, and
I know it. Yeah, he told me.
yeah, he cool. He cool as hell, man. Like we clicked. We clicked real quick, and he's good, man. He's all that,
I know it.
Yeah, he's all that.
I try to tell people, look, if I say what he is right now, people are gonna say I'm biased just because I'm Cuban. He's Cuban.
Yeah, yeah.
4-0. But the kid is a complete package. All we need to see him is have the right opponent in front of him to implement.
And he's just gonna look better. I feel like once they throw him in there, whoever like that they think, is gonna give him a good fight, he's just gonna show out.
For sure. For sure, man.
So,
So at the end of the day, man, him being elevated to me is still a bit too early because I feel like with only 4-0, he's gonna have to go out there with the big dogs without enough experience in the pro game. And there's
yeah.
a difference.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a big difference. But man, just by him, I think it was his third fight, man, going 12 rounds. The way he did, with
an undefeated fighter too.
With an undefeated fighter that he's a good fighter, and him showing what he can do, man, that impressed me. Because at first, I was like, dang, he only got 3 fights or whatever. Like, but man, he showed out. So as long as he keep proving people wrong, man, that should be fine.
Yeah. So now, like, what some of the sparring partners you've gotten for this camp here? I'm having some
Man,
people in here, man. So they might not be able to come in because I've tried to bring 2 of them in and it's not letting them. So let's just keep talking.
yeah.
That's
Nah, man.
amazing.
Sparring, I came from Morel where we was sparring like all the time. We did, I don't know how many rounds we did.
Yeah.
Then, then I went to Nashville, probably chill for like a week or whatever. Then I was back in the gym, Then I was working with a friend of mine that's going to fight on Showtime,
Okay.
Sina Akbeku, a
Okay.
guy from Ghana. He's about 20-something, 20-something fights, one loss, and about 20-something knockouts. Going to fight on Showtime against an undefeated Russian guy, the 17th of this month.
Oof.
So, man, he's a strong dude, and we've been sparring. You know, me and him been sparring over there, and a couple other guys too. You know, local guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel pretty good, man. And over here, I think tomorrow I'm about to get some work.
So the boxing scene has grown a bit in Nashville. Obviously, fighters like Kelly Plant is putting Nashville on the map, even though he no lives in Nashville permanently. But at least you got some gyms around. I mean, you've been here in my city, Louisville, Kentucky. You know that also boxing here is not as big as it should be, especially because we got legends that have come out of here.
I know.
So, but at least you got that option of going down to Miami, working at a great gym, working with great people. So I'm pretty sure that you just go out there and put to work whatever you've been learning, and things should be working out pretty good for you. So, I mean, so at the end of the day, man, I know boxing is a struggle. Trust me, I quit really young because I had no support. So at least you have the support. At least you have the avenue by which you're doing this. So, hell, keep grinding at it. You know,
I know, man. And
you're married right now.
The limit.
You're married right now, and you got kids.
Yeah. I got kids. Yeah, man. I got 4 kids. I got 4 girls.
Woof.
Yeah, 4 girls, man. Looking for the boy, man. But I don't know, man. I guess it's a family thing because my brother got 3 girls as well. So
I'll just stop right now looking for the boy. It's not gonna happen, bro.
Man, so I don't know, man. I love my girls though, man. They taught me a lot.
Yeah, I got one myself. I got 3 boys and a girl myself, so I know what you mean. So listen, man. At the end of the day, 30 years of age, moving on fast. Obviously, you're putting the work forward. Being disciplined by not drinking, not smoking. I gotta ask you, from Cuban to Cuban, what's up with the reggaeton in the club night? Are you there or what's up? What's up, Rob?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, brother? What's up, Rob Box? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay, man. Talking to the champion. You got a question for him, man?
Yeah. I got a quick question, man. So you fight in the super middleweight division. Let's say you get past Clay Collard. I seen him fight on ESPN. That dude's a brawler. I think he's got some martial arts background too. He just goes in there and he's looking for that knockout, type of fight. But let's say you get past him. What would be a good step up fight for you? Do you think that you would want to take in the 168 division?
Man, I
heard Anthony Durrell. Go ahead.
And man, if it presents itself, I'll be more than glad to take that fight. That'll be a big fight for my career, But of course, now I'm focused on this guy, on Clay. I seen probably about 2 of his fights, and I see how he fights and all that. But we'll be ready, for whatever he brings, And man, and after this, man, hopefully something big, like I want a 10-rounder fight, and if I get the big names, man, that'll be great. I'm open for anything, man, because I'm the stage of my career where I just need that big fight where I could just take off, So
awesome.
That's pretty much it.
And my second question, brother, with all this back and forth between David Benavidez and Charlo over the internet, how do you see that fight playing out, man, if it goes down?
Man, that's pretty tight though. Like they Charlo's coming, trying to get up on weight and fight Benavidez. But man, I think Benavidez, man, he's just a monster, bro. I can't go against that guy as of right now. I think he's one of the guys that it's gonna be, you got to put that work in to beat him.
Cool.
Not taking anything from Charlo, but Benavidez, he's the one right now, I feel like.
Awesome. And last but not least, brother, what platform are you going to be fighting on so I can keep a lookout whenever your fight comes on with Clay Collard?
Man, I think they gonna they got like a pay-per-view streaming, you know, something they got going on. As of right now, I don't really know, to be honest. But you know, as soon as I find out, I'm gonna post it on my Facebook and all that, and you know, you can add me on there and find me, and you know, it should be on there.
Yeah, so tell them, man, so they can go and follow you and stuff.
Yeah, man, on Facebook it's Maidel Sando, you know, and on Instagram it's Maidel Sando, you know, it's both the same.
Hey, and obviously the brother Raw Boxing, man, he promotes all the fighters, man, unbiased content. So I'm pretty sure he'll be keeping us up to date. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, that's what's up.
Yeah, man. I'll be getting his, hey, anytime, brother. Thank you for stopping by, man. I'm surprised it took him because I've tried to bring a few people in and it just won't let them. So he must have one of the best internets there is because you guys have that Wi-Fi from Taco Bell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So at the end, hey, man, listen, we've been cooking a little bit here on other subjects, and I know I caught you off guard today. I really want to appreciate you for stopping by. Let me know as soon as you find out what platform you're gonna fight.
I got you. I'll do that.
Time and all that. Send me the info so I can throw it here in the channel. I'm gonna have you back on here. That's for a fact. I want to have you and Morel Jr. here at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that, man. And listen, get your rest, brother. And I wish you the best of luck. And as soon as you have the information of where you're fighting, send me a text with it. So
I got you, man. I appreciate you, man, for this little you know, for this opportunity.
Anytime, man.
To know me, you know, and all that. So, man, so thank you for that, man.
Hey, anytime, brother. We'll be talking, and good luck with everything, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Take care, brother.
Dale.
So yeah, people. Little by little, we're bringing them in. Oh, I think you got a key out, Sando. There you go. Little by little, we're bringing them in. The brother, of course, went through several trials in his life. Of course, I can see why he would take a pause after his trainer being shot 5 times. I'm absolutely shocked at what he told me about his ex-coach pushing him through some legal issues because I fought for the same guy. I didn't last a long time under his gym. The guy's just a scumbag. And wow, I'm still in shock after he told me that. So I just hope everything works out good. I hope he can find a legal way out of that maggot's claws. You know what I mean? So let's skip cooking on what we was talking about, man. Because at the end of the day, sometimes fighters need to put forth work themselves in order for the big dogs to take notice of them. In order for the big dogs to say, this guy's been knocking all these good fighters out. His name's sounding a lot. Damn, I don't think I got anybody else that I can fight that can bring me more money than he can, or more publicity right now than he can, or more pay-per-view buys than he can. Let me go out there and get him a chance, give him a chance. That's what I'm trying to say. This is one of the things that the Charlos can do, that Charlo can do to just eliminate any type of excuse out of the way. Out of the way. And basically put himself out there, call him out. Ricardo Martinez, welcome, my brother, to the live. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, bro, you say that he's ducking, and I say maybe he's cloud chasing as well, but we just don't know, man. I do know that he shouldn't be talking if he ain't gonna have no actions behind it. And there is the link right there. Make sure to choose the one that's got Twitch and Raw Boxing TV in it. So when you guys come in, you also appear on Twitch. I'm also live streaming simultaneously to Twitch as we speak. Raw Boxing TV in Twitch. Just keep that in mind, guys. Also, to remind you, you can find me on Instagram at RawBoxingTV, Twitter at RawBoxingTV. If you're trying to support the channel, Cash App at $RawBoxingTV. And I want to send a quick shout out to D-Style for hooking me up with this banner. You have to eliminate everybody that's in the way. You have to leave Canelo and his team no way out, any other avenues to look for. And then once he is the unified champion of the world, if in fact you have eliminated everybody out of the way, and all of a sudden he doesn't fight you, he moves on, or he vacates the titles, then I promise you, I'll be one of the first ones to make a video titled Canelo Alvarez is ducking. Canelo Alvarez is absolutely ducking Jermoll Charlo. But until you got incentives that might tempt the champ to give you the fight, until there's other good fights in the middle, in the way, until there's still other titles out there that he's interested on, I really don't know what's up. I really don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know. Rap star in the building. What is going on, my friend?
Look at this, bro. I'm still training right now, middle of the night. Check it out, bro. I'm training right now.
And over there in England right now, it's what, like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning?
Yeah, this is an underground gym, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Welcome to the live, man.
We're getting this working, bro. We're just getting this working, bro.
So you're not like Caleb Plant. If somebody asks you to fight, you're ready right now. You don't need 2 months to get ready.
Right now. I'm ready right now. Hey, listen, I've got to take the camera off because there's people here that don't like the camera. But
that's fine, man. I could just hear you.
I'm just going to go take a break and talk to you. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So what's going on, Raw Boxing?
Not much, man. We're just trying to chop it up here, talking about these little issues, man. We don't understand the mentality of a champion calling out all the great fighters, telling them they're going to knock him out, but then they not trying to fight nobody that's, the age of 25 when they know that very same guy that they just challenged is not even 25. So you're challenging them, but at the same time, you're challenging them. You're telling them, I'll knock you out. I'll put my belt on the line. But then you go around saying, oh, yeah, but I'm not willing to fight nobody that's 25 and under, and they have to have the COVID shot on. Like, it makes no sense because Benavidez is like 22 or 23.
Yeah, that makes no sense at all. And if you got to remember something, these kind of trends that we're hearing, right, this is total bullshit. People started their careers at 18, 19, 20, 21. You look at Wilfredo Benitez, Sugar Ray Leonard. These guys captured titles at 18 and 19.
That's
Floyd
correct.
Mayweather was beating grown men at 20, 21, 22. These kind of excuses are not acceptable in boxing. If you don't want to fight Benavidez, stop fucking clout chasing and calling his name, brother.
That is true.
Because it's going to come back to you. You see?
That is very fair. And that's what I'm saying. Look, I personally like the shot excuse. I don't find that one wrong. Hey, if you're trying to make sure your opponent cannot have the COVID or whatever, but here's the deal. Everybody knows that even with the shot, you can still get COVID. So I mean, I'm finding all of those obstacles that are being implemented by him, maybe as an excuse. Is he clout chasing? Is he ducking? What is it? What is it that Charlo is doing? Because instead of putting in the work to eliminate anybody out of the way, instead of putting in the work to eliminate potential future matches for Canelo Alvarez. In other words, if tomorrow Canelo Alvarez wants to fight Benavidez and you've already knocked out Benavidez, you can say, what's up? I already knocked. That's my leftover. What's up? You see what I'm saying? No, he's trying to sit and he's trying to wait for the big shot. He's not trying to put no work.
Yeah, I think we're just going through a situation in boxing where the boxers are using the social media and the fans to kind of like build some momentum. But, see, the problem is Raw Boxing. Some of these boxers are not educated. They don't know how to speak even. They put themselves in the fire. And you can see that. Even when Deontay Wilder was given an option to speak He put himself in the fire. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it seems like they want to be kind of emotional, but you can see through it. And I think these days they need a better marketing team and they need people around them so they can speak the right way, because they're not professional enough. Let's be honest.
And you just touch on something that I've been saying, even with the Ryan Garcia situation, calling out, saying things about Pacquiao, but we haven't heard nothing from Pacquiao yet. Sometimes boxers need that one person that's constantly thinking, hey, wait a minute, don't say this, because this is what can happen as a result. Say this instead, or say this instead. But see, where I take issue is he challenges Charlo. He said, hey, man, I'll move to your weight division. I'll knock you out. And I'm going to put my belt on the line, right? Immediately, Charlo replies within 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever it was. And Charlo say, hey, man, that sounds good. Let's do it for April, man. And gave him a date, right? That's more than enough time to prepare for that fight. More than enough time to even cook that fight. Hell, if tomorrow there was an announcement that came out, Jermoll Charlo versus David Benavidez set for March or set for April. No, April, I believe it was. Man, people will tune in to watch that fight. You see what I'm saying? So the guy comes back. He replies immediately to your challenge. He accepts it. Not only does he accept it, but he gives you a date. And now you're like, yeah, now the guy's 23. And you're like, I ain't even going to fight nobody that's under 25 years of age. And if they want to fight me, they got to have the COVID shot. At the end of the day, whether we like it or not, the fans might look at that and be like, that's either clout chasing or a huge duck. And my whole thing is, it could be either or. There is no defense when it comes to Charlo. I have no way of defending him. I have no way of saying, whoa, this is what he actually meant. No, I mean, all of the comments have been literal comments. And at the end of the day, you call him out, he replies, and then you say you ain't gonna fight nobody that's 25 and under, and that automatically disqualifies him. To me, that's a duck / cloud chasing.
I mean, either way, I think Charlo's in a position that at the end of the day, let's be honest. And before we get to that, I just want to let you know, some of your subscribers are amazing guys. We got Joni Diaz over there. We got Rodriguez over there.
Yeah.
These guys, they know their boxing.
Yes,
and I just want to salute to your chat. But I just want to say this, man. Charlo's in a situation, bruv, that he got to make fights. And the fights which are around him, Jamie Munguia, that's not going to be an easy fight for him.
Nope.
Demetrius Andrade, that's not going to be an easy fight for him. David Benavidez, all these guys are step-ups. Charlo hasn't faced these kind of opponents before. So we're making a whole bunch of noise about Jermoll Charlo, but the man hasn't even accomplished anything even around GGG. GGG has accomplished way more than a Jermoll Charlo.
That is correct.
So Jermoll Charlo's hanging on a tree, and we've got to see how good he really is. And now the time is coming. So at the end of the day, he can't take a backward step, Raw. He's got these opponents. If he goes back, nobody's going to be fucking interested in Jermoll Charlo.
That is correct.
People are interested in Jermell because Jermell wants all the smoke.
Yeah.
He's got 3 titles, I think. He's unified champion.
Mm-hmm.
And the man's kept stepping up. Jermoll Charlo hasn't done that much in boxing right now.
Correct. That is correct. But see, that's one of the issues we're having nowadays. The problem also we're having, man, we've said it plenty of times, the YouTube boxing community, the YouTube boxing content creators is really the one holding boxing down, right? But the problem we're having nowadays with some of these content creators, they don't really know boxing, and all they know how to do is push forth emotional racial narratives or favorite fighter narratives that instead of making clear and great content, demanding these fighters to put some work, to put themselves in a position where they're looked at from the champ, like the champ looks at him like, yeah, that's the guy I want. Yeah, he brings good money. He's been beating everybody up. he's been beating these great fighters up. That's the guy I want next. No, these content creators and these fighters now think that, yeah, I'm going to catch a title. I'm going to make a little bit of noise. And then I'm going to call out the big dog. And if he doesn't give me a fight, he's ducking me. And he makes no absolute sense, especially when the top dog at that division started boxing grown men at the age of 15, captured 3 world titles in less than 12 months, came back after almost a year of inactivity to fight the number 1 guy at 168 and completely dismantled him. But he's ducking you because he ain't trying to give you a fight. It absolutely makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense.
Yeah, I think it's a trend, raw boxing. I think nowadays what we got to do recognize is if you call out the greatest, it puts you in the picture in the social media. So even though, let's just say this, right? Let's say you keep calling out Canelo. People are interested in you because you're calling out somebody who is the greatest. So I think it's kind of a pattern that you see these fighters, they don't want to fight. But if they call him out, people will start pushing the narrative and they become more important while the topic's going on. So
Correct.
you got to remember this. They're using their psychology on their own fans.
That is true.
You know, we know it. You know it, raw boxing. The
Correct.
fight's not going to happen for another 2 years. But they're talking about it now so they can keep themselves relevant with Canelo. See, if you keep yourself relevant with Canelo, you get more fans, you get people talking about you. See, the only way they talk about Jermoll Charlo is if you talk about Canelo.
Correct.
The only way they talk about Demetrius Andrade is if you talk about Canelo. So they got to attach their name to Canelo because without Canelo, they feel empty as well. So
Correct.
they know that Canelo is the top dog. So they got to keep calling it so it makes them look like they are not ducking. Does that make sense to you?
It makes absolute sense. It's one of the greatest little gimmicks out there in order to just keep yourself relevant. It's one of the greatest techniques that exists right now in the YTBC, in the boxing world in general, to keep themselves relevant. And you know, some content creator like my brother here, yeah, I stick to everything. I break down fights. I talk about pre-fights, post-fight comments and stuff. But I'm also worried up to a certain level for the perception of certain fans about the sport. And if I can find a way to speak about a certain subject and at least offer a different argument that gives people the opportunity to stop, pause, think for themselves, and analyze, then I feel comfortable doing it. I'm not for it or against it, but I do feel comfortable doing it. My only thing is, man, that I call it the lazy way to the top. I want to make it to the top without even climbing the mountains. Just give me a helicopter ride and drop me up there. You see what I'm saying? And this is what these fighters are wanting to do. And then the content creators are talking about ducking and the fighters talking about ducking. But there's potential matches at your one-weight division, like a Demetrius Andrade, that you didn't want no part of. We're talking about a man that has harassed you and your brother publicly, right? We're talking about a man that at the end of the day is a hell of a fighter, and the fight never happened. My question is it a duck? My question is to those content creators, is Charlo a duck? I personally don't really think so up to a certain level. Maybe something didn't come to fruition. I don't know for sure. But it's certainly what we got to work with. You know, Daniel Jacobs actually went up to both of his brothers backstage, put him up against the wall. A bunch of people had to get in the way and told him, I'm ready to fight any of you. Put it in paper right now. Let's do it. Nothing happened. We never saw a Charlo versus Jacob. That would have been a great fight. Can you imagine if Charlo had Jacob in his record? Can you imagine if Charlo had Demetrius Andrade in his record? Can you imagine if Charlo gets a Munguia or even a GGG in his record? Then people will appreciate him calling out Canelo even more, Benavidez even more. The curiosity would be even bigger because he has put on his record excellent fighters, tough fighters, high-level competition fighters. But as of now, you want to go from the third step to the very last step. It just doesn't work like that. You have to go step by step sometimes, unless you're absolutely the only guy in and the champ says, yeah, I'll give him a shot. But as long as there's a Plant, as long as there is a Benavidez, as long as there's a Saunders out there, and as long as Canelo has unification on his mind, I don't see that fight taking place anytime soon. Unless you go over there and say, like I said, knock out David Benavidez on an undercard of Canelo in front of Mexicans, and then call out Canelo and call him all kinds of things in front of Mexicans. Maybe you might be able to apply the social pressure to Canelo that he might say, yeah, tonight after I beat Plant or Saunders and I become unified, I want his head in front of this very same crowd. But not even that, man. We're not even getting that. We're not even getting that.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't, basically push those narratives. We should just tell the casual fans, the hardcore fans already know what's going on.
Of course.
I mean, Canelo's already told them, at the end of the day, he's already took risk on many accounts. When the man was 22, he fought the greatest fighter in the world called Floyd Mayweather.
Yep.
He's not scared to take risk. The reason why Canelo is where he is today is that he challenges himself. He might have lost that Gennady Golovkin fight when Gennady Golovkin was unbeaten, the boogeyman, but he took it, and he took it in front of the world and to show people, I am the best. These guys need to take a leaf out of Canelo's book. And let me tell you something. If these guys don't chase Canelo. Go chase Gennady Golovkin. Go chase Demetrius Andrade. Go make your own fucking legacy, bro.
That is
Canelo's not your dad. He's not your godfather. If you're gonna wait and move carefully to keep your unbeaten record, well, that might be the wrong attitude to have in boxing. All these guys, they're scared to. I think I'm not saying they're scared. They're not scared, but in the back of their mind, they think, oh, we might lose to Golovkin. I might lose to Andrade. Let me keep this unbeaten record to make a big money fight with Canelo. That's not this is boxing. This is not a fucking Hollywood film.
correct.
Boxing's changed due to the media, due to the money, the promotions. They're trying to feed these kind of situations where the big fights with Canelo. Man, if you're going to keep waiting just for Canelo, then I'm going to tell you the truth. People are going to realize and see through you that you ain't a man who wants to challenge yourself. You're just in it for the money. And Jermoll Charlo is moving very, very, very carefully. And you know what I mean, Raw Boxing.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right, but before I go, man, I got a little 20 more minutes of workout. I'll come and show you some love, and show you some, some time. But let me tell you, I want to get some of the British fighters on your show so we can, we can share the love over here with you.
All day, man. Bring them over. We'll have them over. I always have love and respect for fighters in general. Always. It's always gonna happen, man. So bring them over. We'll put them over here.
For sure, man. And everyone, smash that like button. I'm gonna be doing my tour. I got a couple other channels to tour as your friend Punch Drunk and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be touring for a bit after a little while. But look, let me tell you, Raw Boxing, I love what you're doing for the sport. I love that you're giving giving everybody a chance to share their views. And I got to tell you, man, I think you're the next guy coming out of America showing us that, it's a level playing field and you're not pushing any bias and you're giving it totally even playing field. I love that, man.
I appreciate it, man. That's all I try to do, we may not be perfect all the time, but I just, something's got to be done. Even if the narrative never goes away completely, and I know it'll never go away completely, but I feel like if we can rescue one fan at a time, if we can educate one casual at a time, then things will be just a tiny bit better. I'm not looking for full perfection because I know it's an unreal goal, but if we can make things a tiny bit better, that's one of the things that I'm after. You know what I mean? It's sick. I don't like the issues that are happening out there in society to be brought into the sport when it comes to all these narratives based on race baiting and all that crap. It's just not what I like. And when I see fans subscribing to it because they have, people can say, "Oh, Ranger, but why don't you just ignore him? Ignore those people." Well, okay, I ignore them, but in the meantime, while I'm ignoring them, it's like, say there is a fighter, but there is no firefighter. If there is no firefighter, the flame are going to keep consuming everything in their way. There's got to be some type of pushback, even if it's just a minor one. And that's my whole my whole goal. It's not only to speak boxing. It's not only to break fighters, break fights, give my post thoughts, cover fights live, call out people. It's not. I'm pretty soon. You're gonna start seeing. I'm gonna be opening a Patreon. I'm gonna be displaying some boxing lessons, doing some work at the gym with my brother-in-law, some other fighters that are gonna be available exclusively on Patreon.
Amazing.
And so there's a lot of things that are coming to the channel, right? I'm working on that huge fish that I think you know who I'm talking about, but I don't want to say the name yet. He's given us some great sign that yes, it's possible, man. I got you in the back of my head. We just got to be aligned. I got a fight coming up, one of these days. Because I already told him, listen, when we do this interview, it ain't gonna be 10, 15 minutes. If you can give me an hour of your day, and that was sent on an email to him, and he replied, yes, I'm willing to do that. We just got to have the right time, align our schedules, and schedule it. And right now, the guy's very busy. He's got a fight coming up. I'm working, right? But my focus is is part of trying to call out the narratives as well. That's basically it. And it is what it is.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's a pattern. We've had these patterns when people have been so great. People find things to find negative out of them and try and degrade them. And, like the Michael Jordans of this world. Today, Canelo is the face of boxing. And this
Correct.
man, Canelo, right? He not just challenges himself, just like what Johnny Diaz says. When Edison Lara was the boogeyman and everybody was ducking him, Canelo faced him. When Gennady Golovkin, everybody was ducking him, Canelo faced him. When Daniel Jacobs, everybody said, nice, he's the guy right now. Canelo faced him. I mean, how many more narratives we're going to find to degrade one of our greatest champions today?
Correct.
Correct. And I've got to tell you, hardcore boxing fans, they know the truth. Because if you respect the sport, you respect the man in the sport. And if you don't, how can you sleep nicely? You shouldn't be in the sport.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't be in the sport, bro.
That is correct.
But correct. Hey, listen, Raw Boxing, I gotta go. The gym closes in 30 minutes, bro. So
what do you think, brother? Thank you for stopping by, man.
Always. And listen, I'm gonna touch base with you. I want your email, all your details. I want to share it with some people in England, and let's get you cooking over here, bro.
Yeah, man. So just like my email is just rawboxingtv@gmail. Just my channel name @gmail, and then you see my social media down here, man. And I'm very easy to get a hold of. So just let's link up. Let's bring some fighters over here, man.
Yeah, not only that, right? Raw Boxing. At the end of the day, what we need to do is we need to start spreading the real energy and start killing the bias and killing all these narratives. That's all we got to do.
Yeah, man. And I'm trying to reach some fighters over in England. I'm actually in touch with Sam Jones. Joe's a manager, but it's just
through his trainer, right? You got a relationship with Salas.
Yeah, but it's just, man, the time difference is what's killing us getting together. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna tell a fighter, oh, stay up until 3 a.m. just to give me a 30-minute interview. So I'm just like in the case of Joe Joyce right now, we're just waiting to see if he can make it to America for the training camp. So once he's here, if he gets to come here, it's a done deal. Like, we'll have the interview. I'll do the same thing that I did with Sanchez, just bring people in. They'll ask all the questions, you know what I mean? But it's just a time difference, brother. You know what I mean? But we'll figure it a way. We'll figure out a way. You know what I mean? And we'll figure out. Another thing
is, don't forget, you can record the interview.
Yeah.
And then you can present it at the right American time, but you might have to stay up at different time while we're asleep, though.
I could do that, but my main joy out of this is actually having you guys interact.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Because like I talked to the fighter, and I'm not gonna say it's nothing special. It is special, but I think it's even more special when a fighter and a fan gets to interact at least for one single question. You ask him the question. He answers directly to you. I think the fans and the subscribers here will appreciate that a lot more than me doing a pre-recorded interview, which it might have to happen from time to time, but I'm mainly focused right now on just bringing the content in the way that I've been bringing it. Just to
but I think what you're saying is you've got some exclusive contacts, but you don't want to call their name until they're coming. because
Correct.
you don't want to do that to your subscribers, right?
Correct. And also I've already I've already announced a few big fighters, and then they've canceled at me at the last time, and then my subscribers, I
Yeah,
know
you don't want that, bro.
I know one of them said that I was just capping, and that is not the case at all. But I don't blame him for thinking that way. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. But I think at the end of the day, slowly but surely, you're going to realize that there's no point promising anyone anything, because you never know what happens on a Monday.
Yeah, that is correct.
Right?
So listen, man, I know you're going to jump off of here. I just want to thank you for stopping by. I'm going to switch the subject here, and I'm going to talk about all these jokes coming up and see what people think about the new challenges coming up for Mayweather. I'm going to try to explain people the difference between what Mayweather is doing and what Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. is doing. Just go into that, and I'm going to close this live, man.
So I want to give you something exclusive before I leave, all right?
All right, go ahead.
So there's a guy I know in England. His name is Spencer Ferron. He's doing a first interview with Mark Breland tomorrow.
Oh.
Okay, in England. Mark Breland is doing an interview through Zoom, and it's been it's on a schedule for tomorrow in case something happens. So Mark Breland should be on an interview. Shall I tell you the channel, or do you want me to do it private?
You can share it. I don't mind it.
I mean, everybody can watch it on Stamina for Sell. It's Stamina for Sell. Mark Breland's first interview tomorrow.
So Stamina for the number or FOR? Which one?
FOR.
Okay. So you guys heard it, man.
And the guy's channel, whose channel it is, it's Tunde Ajayi's new channel, is the Anthony Yarde's trainer.
Okay. Yeah.
Anthony Yarde's trainer's got his own channel, and he's going to be interviewing Mark Breland. So that'd be an exclusive tomorrow, Raw.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. And you know, I didn't know Mark was doing interviews because I know he's a very private guy.
That's what I
thought. I've thought of getting in contact with him, but I've hesitated mainly because of the type of guy he is. He's very quiet, very private, just a guy that doesn't like to speak bad, even of Deontay Wilder. So very respectful. And I'm like, should I bring him? Should I ask him to come? Is he going to accept? If he comes, what am I going to ask him? Because I know that if I ask him his thoughts, he's probably going to just give us an answer in a way where it's not going to satisfy the question. And so I didn't want to put him in an uncomfortable situation and ask him questions that he doesn't want to answer. You know, specifically what he got accused of was very bad. You know what I mean? And I personally don't believe it, but it may be something that he doesn't feel like even talking about, you know?
Yeah, so it'll be very intriguing to see what he's going to speak about tomorrow.
Yeah, man. I'll be on the lookout for it. Stamina for Sell. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that interview, man.
Yeah, bro. So I'm out. Peace to everyone.
Hey,
Peace
brother.
to the chat.
YouTube
Raw Boxing. We appreciate what you're doing for boxing, brother.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Catch you soon, brother.
All right. So, guys, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's talk. I want to hear your opinions. I'm going to share with you guys the link again. Make sure to choose the one that has YouTube and Twitch together, not the one with just the YouTube, but YouTube and Twitch, so that when you do come in, not only will you appear in my YouTube channel, you'll also appear on my Twitch. You can also follow me, subscribe to me on Twitch at Raw Boxing TV. Same name across all social media platforms except Facebook. I'm not gonna do a Facebook page for the channel. So let's talk about all this junk that we've had lately. When it comes to Floyd Mayweather, you know, you can't deny that the man knows how to make some move, that the man knows how to play with people's emotions, that the man knows how to get you mad in order to hate him, and through that hate force you to buy a pay-per-view and then link in to try to see him lose, and it just never happens, right? We can't deny that. It's an undisputable fact, if you want to call it. And we know that the fight against Logan Paul has been postponed. It's probably going to be taking place in Japan. We just don't know just yet. Obviously, Logan Paul, brother, Jake Paul, has been fighting extremely low-level oppositions, people that are not boxers. He doesn't have to create a fan base for himself. He already has it. Not boxing fans. He already has a fan base. Enough to sell a pay-per-view. And so now Floyd Mayweather says that he wants to fight also Jake Paul. And then he also said that if 50 Cent wants it, he can get it, but on that fight has to be winner takes all. What the hell is going on with the sport of boxing? I've been highly critical of all of this junk. I got no other way of putting it. Because it's been presented in the wrong way. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not fully opposed to these fights taking place. I'm simply solely opposed in the way they're being advertised. Because although they're telling you it's an exhibition match. Yeah, the word's there. The actual words there, exhibition. But then the way they put it out, the way they advertise it, it presents it to the fan, especially the casual one, as an actual fight. And I personally not against exhibition matches because everybody has done them. Ali has done them. Oscar De La Hoya has done them. Mosley has done them. Mayweather has done them. Pacquiao was looking for one. Pretty much, brother. The casual fan is seeing this and they're like, I thought Mayweather was retired. Oh, he's fighting Logan Paul. Oh, that's going to be such a great fight. Logan Paul has 20 million subscribers. Who cares? Who cares? Man, he's going to be 51-0. No, he's not. He's retired. I'm not knocking Mayweather because anybody can go get that bag in whatever shape or form they see fit to. And if it's in a good moral way, great. If it's in a bad way, get your bag, but be ready to face the consequences of your actions. So that's not what I'm knocking here. And basically, listen, to separate people that are having a hard time separating this, when Floyd Mayweather does an exhibition, it doesn't necessarily mean, doesn't necessarily mean that it's a professional ranked boxing match. Yes, I know you might get the perception it is because of the amount of money that's involved in it. You might get the perception that it is because it is Floyd Mayweather and you see Jake Paul knocking out Nate and you see Logan Paul fighting KSI. So people might get the perception, and when I say people, I mean the casual fan, the ones that doesn't know a lot about boxing, they might get the perception that this is, in fact, a professional boxing match. But in reality, it isn't. And in reality, these people need to advertise this cold-heartedly and solely as an exhibition. They need to remind fighters, don't be thinking this is a real fight. They need to not put these fights in the undercard of any ranked professional boxing match. And you know why? I'll tell you why. When a YouTube star fights and he puts 20,000 butts in the seat that night, I agree with you, 74-69. When a YouTube star fights and he puts 60,000 seats, 20, whatever they're allowing, they sell 1 million, 2 million pay-per-views. And he's on the undercard of an actual ranked professional boxing match. The minute that YouTube star fights ends, they leaving. The fans are leaving. They ain't sticking around. And then that's when you see the actual ranked professional match take place in a ghost town. Yes, this happened already. Don't tell. I seen David Haney fight in front of an empty stadium after the KSI fight. There was 3 cats in the bleachers. Hey, the link is there, brother. Look, let me shoot it again. Like I said, just make sure you choose the one that has Twitch, the little purple thing at the bottom. The link is there, man. I don't close the doors to nobody. The link is right there. What you mean if I allow you? I've been asking people to come in here. I've been giving people the key to come into my house and talk some boxing with me. Rodriguez, if you want to call back, it's also your house, brother. Let's chop it up. Let's have some fun. After all, it's not just my opinion. If you feel like sharing your opinion, if you feel like there's something I should be saying, but I haven't said it, but it's in the back of your head or it's in the tip of your tongue, it's burning, and you feel like it's useful for the fans, there's the key. Bring it in. Let's talk about it. Anybody. That goes to anybody on the chat. Anybody. It's creating sort of like a joke out of the sport. And you know, I even thought that maybe Raw, the Wrestling Federation, Vince McMahon, could actually be a more suitable platform, a more suitable place to advertise these kinds of things. After all, they do fight in a ring. Why not just put the show over there, collect the money out of it, present it as an actual boxing match inside the Raw ring? Maybe fans would take it a little better, especially hardcore boxing fans. Maybe the sport of boxing will not be taking these hits. Again, I'm not against Floyd. This fight happen. No. I'm all for it. If you want it, have it. It's just the way it's taking place, where they're taking place. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Raw? How you doing, bro?
Pretty good. Thanks for being here, man.
Nah, man, thank you for having me, man, and dropping the link to me. So I totally I agree with everything that you said, man, and to take it a step further, I think the reason that they're able to have all these exhibitions so successfully and be able to outsell what professional boxers are doing is because our boxers aren't fighting each other, man. We're not getting the fights that we're supposed to get. As boxing fans, the best aren't fighting the best, and when that happens, that's when you get these bull crap exhibition fights, bro. Like for instance, like a perfect example, like the XFL tried to come and take over the NFL, but they can't do it because the NFL has such a great product and they provide the best product. Boxing's product as a whole sucks right now, bro.
It
Like
does.
it's way too many belts, obviously. I'm sure we can agree on that.
Yep.
It's way too many fighters that get favoritism and our best fighters aren't fighting each other. You know what I
Correct.
mean? And so as long as that continues to happen, bro, I feel like you're gonna get the Floyd Mayweather versus 50 Cent and the Logan Paul versus KSI, and that's gonna be the main event when it shouldn't be, bro. Like if our best fighters were fighting each other, then it wouldn't even be an issue. People would come back to boxing, and boxing would continue to grow. But it's too confusing for a casual fan
I agree.
because yeah, bro, because like if you want to follow a sport, you want it to be simple for you, right? You want to be able to know, okay, this person is the best, this person is the champion, and that's who I need to follow, that's who I should be watching fight. But when you have 5, 6, 7, 8 belts in one weight class, it becomes very, very difficult to follow. And so I think that's part of the reason why these Floyd Mayweather and now they're talking about Tyson and Holyfield might be doing the fight now. And so they're able to come scoop down on this and make a bunch of millions. And in the meantime, they hurting boxing because they have fans
Correct.
that just want to see them. They just want to see them do well. That aren't true boxing fans. And like you said, they'll leave the stadium or they'll turn off the TV as soon as their favorite YouTuber or their favorite 60-year-old former champion gets done fighting. And I just don't like it, bro. As a boxing fan and as somebody that talks boxing on YouTube, I don't think it's a good look for the sport, bro.
I agree with you. Giovanni Diaz, what's up, brother? How you doing? Thank you for being
What's up, brother? Hey, sorry, man. It's just that I got a little 1-year-old. He goes crazy, so it's hard for me to do everything at one time.
here.
But
Anytime. Hey, sorry, man. I'll be seeing you on Instagram. How's it doing? How's it going?
everything good, brother. And right now, I'm gonna just be here for a little bit because I gotta get ready and I gotta go drive. I do pest control, so I gotta go drive and do my thing at the
Your
grocery
thing, brother.
stores. But I definitely want to jump in, man. I definitely agree with both of you guys. You know, as a for how I'm gonna say it, for a boxer, because I used to box myself. It's definitely bad for the sport, you know, because you have those other ones that are working hard to get there. And when they finally get a chance, oh yeah, you're next. And then next thing you know, oh never mind, I'm gonna fight this other person that don't even box. So that kind of messed it up for that. I guess you could say, not to diss the casual fan, not at all, but I guess you could say that's the difference between a real boxing fan and a casual fan. Casual fan they'll be in it like 100%. For a real boxing fan, I believe that we understand what they go through more, and we kind of like, it's cool, but not something that it should be done, especially by Mayweather, because everybody follow him. Everybody wants to do what he's doing. So now guess what? He does it. Now everybody's gonna start doing it, and that's what's gonna kill the sport.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, again, I'm not opposed to the exhibition. I'm just opposing the way that's being advertised and where it's taking place. Because, like, if you want, so for example, the Legends only, okay, great. Everybody has in their head that it's Legends. You're not going to see a ranked fight. You know what you're getting. Even the casuals are like, oh, so two old fighters are fighting just because, curious. Okay. But when you have a fighter that retired just a few years ago, like Mayweather, and you have a Logan Paul who is a ranked professional fighter and has a box record of 0 victories with 1 defeat, and you have his brother who is in the same bagging, it's an actual professional licensed fighter with a 2-0 record, and you're trying to talk about you fighting them, the casual is going to get the perception, damn, this is a fight. Let's watch it. And then you want to throw it in the undercard of an actual ranked professional match. Then boxing takes the hit. But, Mayweather's been at Raw, the WWE. If Vince McMahon would start sponsoring things like that, I think it would be even better. Okay, cool. Take it over there. We know what we're getting. The casuals know what we're getting. But all this junk, you said it, man. A lot of people imitate Mayweather. And maybe, it's good that Mayweather is doing what he's doing to get the money, but maybe his influence in the sport is so strong that it might be damaging the sport instead of actually helping the sport, because
Agreed.
I feel that whatever Mayweather did was great for him. It worked for him. The way he spoke was for him. The way he structured his career was for him. But now fighters are trying to be Mayweathers, and 1, they don't have the quality of Mayweather. 2, they don't have the charisma of Mayweather. They don't know how to create the hate like Mayweather. It's just not, I don't know. I think it's something that should be advertised at WWE or some outsource like that. Keep it away from the actual ranked professional matches. Keep it as far as possible from them. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think people are sticking ahead.
I agree with you 100%, bro. And like, to take it a step further, like, people that argue for this, or people that are on the other side of the argument, they say, well, it brings the casual fan and it puts more eyes on the sport. And I totally disagree with that, because if you want to put more eyes on the sport, bro, the same way, like, I got family members and women in my family that never watch football, but they watch the Super Bowl. And the reason they watch the Super Bowl, because I'm able to tell them, yo, look, this is the best 2 teams that are playing. They got the best players. It's going to be a huge game, and it's going to be fun to watch. If you want to bring casual fans to boxing and you want the sport to grow, I need to be able to go tell my friends that don't watch boxing, look, bro, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, they the 2 best at welterweight. It's going to be a hell of a fight. You need to bring some beers. You need to come to my house, and you need to watch this fight. Or Javante Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, they're 2 of the top lightweights. Or Javante Davis and Teofimo Lopez, it's going to be a hell of a fight. I can't tell my people, like, yo, you really need to watch this Terrence Crawford versus Mean Machine fight, or you need to really sit down and watch this Javante Tank Davis versus Abner Mares or something. Like, I can't sell that to them. And so if you want to bring casual fans back to the sport, instead of doing these YouTube fighters and all these exhibitions, you make your best fighters fight each other, bro. The boxing fans are telling you, like, yo, these are the fights that we want to see. These are the people that we want to see fight. If you would listen, then we could go tell our people, like, yo, you need to come see this fight. This one's going to be a big one. And so I think that's where we are with boxing. And that's one thing that I think the UFC and MMA got right. There's no confusion on who the best is. Say what you want about them, but they make their best fighters fight each other. and you know who the top dogs are. And it's very, very easy to follow. So a casual fan that's just getting in combat sports for the first time, they'll gravitate towards UFC simply just because it's easier to understand, bro.
Right.
And that's what's going on with boxing right now.
Correct.
And I also don't mind like if they do exhibition when a fight, not a fighter. Let's just say someone that play in different sport. They had nothing to do with boxing. Fight with somebody that had nothing to do with boxing. But when you have a boxer fighting, somebody else that had nothing to do with boxing, that's terrible. And then it counts as a record. Didn't like the Mayweather fight kind of a record? Like really?
Yeah.
How could that be your 50? Don't hate Mayweather, but
I get it, because I was never for that. I was like, cool, the fight can happen, great, it's gonna be interesting, great, awesome. But wait, what? Is this gonna be his? This is counting as a record?
yeah, that's
That's where I took issues. I didn't took issues with the fight. I just took issues with
exactly.
it as a record. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a damn that Conor is the beast at MMA. He was still fighting a professional boxer that was making his professional debut against TBE, the money man. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I was never opposed to none of this. But look, I'll give you a great example. Nobody in the boxing world knew that Shaquille O'Neal and Oscar De La Hoya fought.
Exactly. Even Mosley, right? Mosley and Shaquille too.
Nobody even knew. They advertised just as that, as an exhibition, as a money-raising event.
Exactly.
Chavez Sr. still gets involved in that fight. How often do you hear about it?
Not a lot.
Now, you just don't hear about it. But because of the way they're advertising these fights, even though they're including the word exhibition on there, on the back end, they're actually presenting it to you as an actual fight.
Exactly.
And the casuals are taking the hit. Boxing is taking the hit. And I agree with knockout boxing. Listen, another option would be free TV. The best, most viewed boxing in history, fight in history, or card in history was Thriller in Manila. It registered 100 million in closed circuit, almost 1 billion worldwide in total, but 100 billion in closed circuit. Free. Watch this. Put sponsors at an auction. See who's the highest bidder. Who's trying to put the most money in there to present their products that night, the night of the fight. Watch how the money starts coming into the networks, and the networks will still feel comfortable of putting forth all this money to have a Wednesday night boxing card, a Friday night, or a boxing after dark. The great days of boxing when we had prospects fighting Wednesday night, the middle of the week, you were getting your boxing medicine. Friday night, the day before the actual great fights, you were getting your boxing medicine. And then Saturday night, you were getting your massive pay-per-view. But the boxing fan and the casuals already had the chance of experiencing a certain level of boxing that lifted in them a curiosity to see, damn, if this guy's gave me that good of a fight, what's going to happen tomorrow? People are saying that the two best fighters at 168 are going to fight tomorrow night. I got to see it. But damn, it's $50. I can't afford it. Let me call Joey Diaz and let me call a boxing knockout. Hey, dude, bring the chips. Hey, yo, bring the guacamole, bring the beer, and let's split this in 3 ways. And it starts bringing boxing back to where it used to be. But unfortunately, man, like he said it the right way. What the hell am I gonna do telling my kid, yo, Mayweather gonna fight Logan Paul, dude? That's a hell of a fight. No, it isn't.
Exactly.
It isn't. Now, if the fight was taking place at like WWE or anything else that was created for this kind of thing, then you want to have fun? Yeah, let's just watch that joke. Let's just watch that show. Then it's up to me whether I want to buy the pay-per-view. And at least my kid knows what he's getting into. I know what I'm getting into, and the casuals know what they're getting into. Because it's separate from the world of boxing, even if it's being done by boxers. It's separate.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's separate. Like
Yeah,
right
bro.
now, real with you, when I heard the 50 Cent name, that made it even worse for me.
I feel you, bro. And you made a great point too. You spoke on it briefly. Like Mayweather's
undefeated record, and that's another way I think he hurt boxing, bro. Because all these fighters are trying to protect that O on their record so bad that they're scared to make great fights, and so it hurts. That hurts boxing even more because if you really think about it, like if you do your history, some of the greatest fighters of all time all took L's, bro.
Correct.
Muhammad
Y'all took
Ali,
risk. Yep.
yeah, Muhammad
Correct.
Ali lost. Canelo Alvarez, who's the money man in boxing right now, he took a L.
Yeah.
Shoot, Sugar Shane, Oscar De La Hoya, and the list goes on and on and on. And so
Roy Jones
Floyd,
Jr.
yeah,
Yep.
Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather is an anomaly. And that's what fighters and fans and everyone needs to understand. He's an anomaly. You don't chase after him. You got to make your own legacy. And you spoke about that earlier in the
Yep.
live today too. Like you got to make your own legacy. Like Charlo versus Andrade, that's a great fight. I would love to see that fight.
Hell
Charlo
yeah.
versus
Agreed.
yeah, Charlo versus Benavidez or Plant or something like that. That's a great fight. Like what I would like for people like Charlo and Terrence Crawford, like Earl Spence and Canelo, they're great, but they're not the only fighters that you can make great fights with, bro.
Correct.
Like there are other fighters to fight, and until that happens, until our champions are fighting other champions and fighting top contenders, they're gonna keep coming in here and snaking these little crazy YouTube fights, and it's gonna be only YouTuber fights that are main events if they keep this up. And I also agree with you on the point about making it go to regular TV because they will pay an obscene amount of money if they feel like you're gonna generate enough viewership.
Hell
Like
yeah.
the NFL, the majority of their revenue comes from what those stations and what those companies pay to be able to run commercials and have them play on their platform. And boxing could do the same thing if they were making great fights. Now, am I saying they'll be as big as the NFL and NBA and generate as much? But no, but I think it'll generate far more than the current business model that they're using
I
because
think they're
those people will
experiment.
pay, bro.
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
think
That's
they're
true.
afraid of experimenting. Go ahead, Joe Diaz.
No, I was agreeing with him. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah,
And
man. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I also wanted to say, like, to a lot of the people though, man, because you know, people start writing all this stuff, and it's just like I gotta say that though, but only because some fighters are not that known in the casual eye doesn't mean
Say it.
those fighters
Preach it.
ain't
I know
good.
where you're going. Preach it.
It doesn't mean they ain't good, man. They probably just as good, but they just don't have that promotion, that whole backup. So
Correct.
people gotta understand that. Oh, because of Ugas, who he fought. I mean, did you guys know in welterweight he's practically undefeated?
Yeah.
The 10 fights is undefeated. He just lost supposedly he lost this one versus Porter, which he actually won it. You
He
know what I'm
got
saying?
robbed. You
We're
know,
not
that's
yeah,
it.
Very
we're not
very
saying that
close fight. Very close
yeah,
fight. Could have went either way. I ain't mean to cut you off though.
exactly.
Go
We're
ahead.
not saying that Ugas gonna beat everybody. We're not saying that. I mean, we're only gonna know until they fight. But he ain't gonna back down. He's gonna fight, and that's all we care. We all we want to see is good fights, regardless. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who fights between them. You know, but as long as they fight each other, then we could bring it back to old school style, how Haglers and Leonards and Duran and all that stuff. Then we could say that. But to
And at
then,
the end of the day, man, look, the welterweight, which is a legendary weight division. I don't think anybody can deny that. What the hell's the welterweight's been doing lately? Like you don't hear nothing on the welterweight. Absolutely nothing. The lightweight and the heavyweights are taking over. The super
Hmm.
middleweight, they taking over. Hell, next thing you know, next year, this damn Bridgerweight is gonna take over.
you know what's the problem though? You know what's the problem? This is what I think. I think the problem is that two guys are probably waiting to fight each other, but they ain't making that move. And they're just waiting, instead of just be like, you know what, while I'm waiting, let me take this other big fight.
Thank you.
It's that
That's
simple.
another thing that Mayweather did. It took him so long for him and Pacquiao to fight. Now everybody feels like, oh, I just want to make the fight bigger. I just want to
Yeah.
make the fight bigger.
They want to cook the
I'm gonna
fights.
put it off. I'm gonna put it off a little bit. I'm gonna wait. Like, nah, bro, go ahead and fight right now. Like, what are you waiting on? And that's what's hurting
Exactly.
welterweight because Terrence Crawford could have been fought other dudes. You know what I mean? And then that would just make the fight bigger. Like if he had a chance to fight Urdanis Ugas. He didn't want
Of
to fight
course.
him. Like that. That's a good fight, bro. That
It
is a
is. It
good
is.
that
It
is a
is.
good scrap. You know what I mean? And so that's why they're not as popular as they should. It's still one of the more popular divisions in boxing, but at least in heavyweight, like they're trying to fight each other. You know, Wilder fought Fury. Joshua fought Ruiz, which was a great fight. He came right back in the
Yeah.
rematch and beat him. And now they're talking about Joshua and Fury, which I have my thoughts on how I think that's going. I don't agree with it, but that will be a great fight if it does happen. So, and heavyweights, man, that's the king division. So they're gonna always
Yeah,
be popular.
definitely.
But Terrence Crawford, I think, in my opinion, is just waiting. It's like he only knows one name, bro. At least like when Manny Pacquiao was chasing Floyd Mayweather, at least he went and beat Floyd's opponents. Like, oh, you beat him? I'm gonna try to beat him worse than you did, because I'm gonna
Thank
have the
you.
people
That's what I
talking
was
that
saying
I'm better.
earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the people thinking that I'm better than you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
If I'm Terrence Crawford, I do that. Oh, you beat Danny Garcia? Come here, Danny Garcia. I'm finna
I'm
knock
gonna
you
knock
out
you
because
out
he
quick.
couldn't knock you out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You beat Sean Porter. I'm finna knock him out too. Bring him on. And then that way people like, yo, Earl, you might need to see Terrence Crawford because he beating him way worse than you did. But I don't understand. I don't understand why they don't think like that, bro. It drives me crazy. To be
Because
completely honest with you.
because
Yeah.
it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Believe it or not, accept it or not, the white TBC is what's holding boxing right now. Think about it. Nobody's putting out daily content in regards to boxing like we are. You go to ESPN right now, they're not talking boxing. You go to Showtime right now, they're not talking boxing. Who's talking boxing? YTBC. But what's the problem with the YTBC? You got 100 great content creators compared to 1,000 that are just in it for the money, and they know that the narratives is lucrative, and they speak about everything except boxing. Like, for example, one of the big giants in there in the YTBC today has not put nothing significant. Put out a video. They sent me a screenshot of his thumbnail, and the video read something like, wow, Benavidez says Charlo has balls, but not Canelo.
Yeah, I seen that.
What the hell do I care about that? I don't care about that stuff. Tell me what you think Charlo should be doing to place himself as a credible opponent. Tell me what you think about Charlo contradicting himself and hurting the sport of boxing and blocking a potential great fight. That's what I want to hear as a hardcore. I don't care who has bigger balls. Why do I care about that? Oh, but then you got to look at the narrative, connect Charlo to the narrative, and connect Charlo to the narrative and the content creator, and you know what's going on. And unfortunately, boxing is not only taking a hit from this jokes of fights, boxing's taking a hit in the mind of the casuals because of maggots like this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think so. For me personally, boxing has been around before these fighters. It's gonna be more fighters that come after them. So I think it's my responsibility as somebody that talks about boxing first and foremost. I'm a fan of boxing, bro. I have my favorite fighters. I have fighters that I support. But first and foremost, you need to be a fan of boxing. And then you
Yep.
need to talk down the middle. Even if it's your favorite fighter, you need to push them to fight fighters that are competitive. Because you know what I want for my favorite fighter? I want you to fight the dudes that they say can beat you or that they say is a close match, because I want to be able to come back and talk noise about how great you are. But I can't do that unless you make a great fight. So you need to be, I think you should be even harder on those that you want to cheer for, that you root for, whoever it is. That's my opinion. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, so for instance, if my favorite fighter was, I don't know, Gervonta Davis, I want him in the ring with Ryan Garcia. I want him in the ring with Teofimo Lopez. I want him in the ring with Devin Haney and all these guys they say are type lightweights, because it's going to make him look better. It's going to allow me to talk noise if he beats those guys. I'm not scared for my favorite fighter to lose, because at the end of the day, I'm a fan of boxing first. I want to see a great fight more than I root for any individual, because this house right here, I pay the rent. Nobody else pay my rent, so I don't care about their money or who they fight or if they undefeated or anything. I want to watch a great boxing match, bro. That's how I view it.
And that's a fact. And at the end of the day, that's nothing but facts and reality. You know, fans can go back and forward, argue with each other, cuss each other out because he should make $5 million and this guy can make this. But at the end of the day, you ain't getting a damn penny out of none of those things you're talking about. You know, and at the end of the day, you're wasting time talking about a subject that really and truly, although it's a part of professional boxing, it's not feeding boxing. Instead of creating content, breaking a fight, talk about a fighter's attributes and downfalls. What do you think about his opponent? How do you see the match taking place? What are the things this fighter needs to do to counteract what he does? Talk about credible boxing news. Leave all of this, who has bigger testicles or that, all that stuff out there. Leave racism out there and only speak of racism when it's actually happening, because there is racism in boxing, but we don't it's not in the way that they're putting it out to be. I mean, we're not in the 60s. There is racism. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stupid either. Trust me, I know. But damn it, every time somebody doesn't fight your fighter, don't be telling your hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and guys, Teofimo Lopez ain't trying to fight Devin because you can't fight that young, fresh black fighter. You know how racism works. The casual fan is like, what? You mean to tell me Lopez is not fighting Devin because it's racist? Damn. And the content goes away from boxing. Now you're not talking about two potential great matches. Now you're talking about racism. So there is a mixture of a lot of things attacking the sport right now. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be a tough one. But like I said
agree
earlier,
with you.
yeah,
I agree with you, bro. But I'm the type, like, I believe Teofimo Lopez is ducking Devin Haney too, but I don't have to talk about race. I can tell you I think it's because, number one, he petitioned for that belt when he knew Devin Haney had the WBC. I can tell you, number two, he's fighting Kambosos while at the same time saying that Devin Haney isn't as big as Kambosos. When we all know over here in America, we know Devin Haney before we know who Kambosos is. So I would actually, if I have an opinion on something, like you, Raw, I feel like you should be able to give facts and actually give your reason. Race doesn't have to come into it at all because
Exactly.
there's serious racism out there. And Teofimo Lopez, at the end of the day, he's not black, but he's a minority too. You know,
yeah,
he gets stuff thrown his way as well. So we all have to understand when it's racism, when it's not racism. And yeah,
correct.
if you think Teofimo Lopez is ducking Devin Haney, as I do, give reasons behind it, bro. Like,
Thank you.
don't just say, yeah, he ducking him because he don't want to fight any black fighters, bro. Like, Richard Comey is black. Last time I checked, you know what I mean. So I don't get that,
No,
bro. And
exactly.
Richard Comey
go
was
ahead.
a very, very credible opponent for a guy that at the level of Teofimo Lopez when he fought him.
Yeah, he
No, and
was. Heck yeah, he
I
was.
I definitely agree in some way with knockout. Um,
Mhm.
like you could have your own opinion on who's ducking who and all that stuff, but when they make it race, it's kind of like it don't look good. I mean,
It doesn't take.
in my opinion, look at my color skin, but I don't think Teofimo's ducking Haney. This is my reason. Teofimo, he fought for the IBF versus Comey, which was December 19th,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So what he had like a 6 month suspension, because once you fight and you get injured and all that, you get suspended for 6 months. Then you got to defend that belt. I think they give you about 9 months to defend it, if I'm correct. So that means that he's supposed to take the IBF fight or take the mandatory fight by no later than April, if I'm correct. That's one of the reasons he has to fight him, unless Cambosa is cool with it and he steps aside and he don't press it. You know, that's the thing though, because if he don't take the fight, I mean, if he doesn't take the fight and Cambosa's like, nah, I want to fight you, then he will lose the title. He will
And
lose the
that's
IBF title.
yeah, and the IBF doesn't play around. The
Exactly.
IBF
No, they don't. They don't. But I'm under the impression that, like, a unification fight with Trump, that though
a unification.
is.
I'm sorry, you cut off.
uh, I was just saying I'm under the impression that a unification with Trump, that, and I don't really even blame the IBF. I really blame the WBC and this franchise though,
True.
because it's causing so much confusion, bro. Like, I feel like they both have the right to claim a champion. And you have Teofimo saying he's undisputed, and you have Devin Haney claiming the champion, and that's why I want to see that fight, because it will give some clarity to the division. And I feel like the IBF should step aside and allow that fight to happen. If they try to strip Teofimo Lopez for fighting Devin Haney, I think that's bad for boxing, in my opinion. But going back to what you were saying, Jonah, the only thing I obviously respectfully disagree with is that, kind of like Lomachenko, and when you have to petition for something, that leads me to believe, okay, why are you petitioning for it? Do you not want to fight this dude and just get the real championship belt? Why do you have to ask for a belt that has no mandatories, that you can't win or lose? If you want to take on any and all smoke, just fight the person that's the
I
champion.
get you, but my understanding is that Bob Arum's the one that petitioned for it, not Teofimo. I mean, it
But he
is
can't
system,
do it.
but
He can't
no.
do it without his fighter though, bro. Like at the
But
end
you
of
know
the day,
what,
that's
though?
that fighter's belt.
At the end of the day, when for me to put my 2 cents on this and notice that we were not in agreement, but nobody has been silenced, time out, or kicked out of the life, right?
Facts.
We,
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
we all have an open platform here. So at the end of the day, yes, the mandatory is a credible excuse, but I think the fact that those money people in Australia was bringing, putting $10 million, I think that weighs a lot more on the decision than, well, here's my mandatory. And because I'm at the end of the day, it's about money too. And
Yeah, facts.
I'll give you an example. I can't see me. I'll put myself in Teofimo Lopez's shoes. I can't see me dropping a potential fight against my mandatory where I'm being offered $10 million to fight Haney where they can only get 4. And that didn't come out of me. That came out of Bill Haney's mouth. Bill
Yeah.
Haney said the most he can go and get was $4 million. And once he did, at first he didn't believe the $10 million deal. Once he actually found out, yes, there are some money guys out there putting the money, putting 10 million. That's when he said, "Listen, I can't get in the middle of that. Who the f am I? Go get the
Exactly.
money and let's get it done." So I think yes, the mandatory issue is a credible reason, but I think the money issue is the heaviest one of them all.
Nah, money
Especially
trumps everything, bro. Because everybody in boxing, at the end of the day, I don't care how good you are, you one punch away from losing your life. So if that's the
Correct.
case, get his 10 million. But after that fight, Teofimo, I want to see you fight Devin Haney, bro.
No,
I
but I
want to
think
know. I want to
both.
know who gonna be undisputed.
No, I think the I think the Haney's is more credible, more chance of happening right now than the Cambosos because
the
the
ban.
the ban in Australia has not lifted. It's not lifted
Yeah.
yet, and so we might get Haney versus Teofimo. I don't think.
Yeah, I think what I heard is that they might extend it for like him for Teofimo not to lose the belt
Okay,
just because of the
Yeah.
ban. Because I guess Cambosa wants to come over here, but the money's not the same.
correct.
He's not going to make that money. He's not
Yeah.
going to
Over
have that crowd.
the 3 guys that are putting the money, they're over there because they won the fight over there. They won a
Mm.
match in
With the fans,
Australia.
live fans.
Exactly. But all of the COVID stuff right now, it's just messing everything up. The country, you can't come in or out. So, I mean, look, Cambosos after his last fight, he went back to Australia,
Hmm.
did a COVID test before entering the nation, showed up, he passed the test, showed up with the results, and he still had to do a 15-day quarantine.
They strict over there.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
I
definitely.
don't think I don't think I don't think Teofimo's gonna risk that bag. Then I don't think he'll take a chance fighting Haney and then lose out on that bag with Cambosis if he end up losing to Haney. So
Yeah. Exactly.
we'll see. I just always push for undisputed, bro. I don't want. I always push for undisputed, and I want to know who the real champion is. And I blame the WBC more than I blame the fighters, just because there's so much confusion around it. But
Yeah.
and that's actually the opposite of what a sanctioning body is supposed to do. They're supposed to provide clarity, and they're bringing nothing but confusion to the equation. So, but if Teofimo Lopez has a bag out there that's 2 times bigger than what he can make for Devin Haney, that will be on the Haney and Matchroom and Eddie Hearn to try to match that if they really want the fight. So,
You
And
know,
the,
Eddie Hearn, go ahead. Go ahead,
yeah,
Joanna.
I was gonna say something. I mean, just for other people to understand. Look, what he made with Lomo on that fight, he really didn't make a lot because you gotta think about all the percentage that he had to cut, like give the
Yeah, and both
promoters,
fighters took
matchmakers, his trainer, everybody.
yeah.
So he didn't bring a lot of money. So you gotta give him that. Like, you know what? He didn't get a lot of money for a super big fight. Now, you know what? I don't mind him take a fight where he's gonna make that money. I mean, he's thinking about his family. We're not feeding his family, so why?
Yeah.
You feel me? So I don't mind that. I don't mind if there's one more fight before Haney, and the world's not going to end just because Cambosa and Teofimo fight next. Let's just say, for example, You know, Haney could fight Fortuna or Linares or somebody. You know, then after that they should fight each other. Then
Correct.
that will even be super great because the world's not going to end if they don't fight the next fight.
Correct. And
No,
at the
that's
end
all
of the
facts.
day, I think
That's all facts, bro.
I think, like I said, I, I think him and his dad have sat down, and you're damn. I mean, 10 million. I mean, we ain't never even made 3 million. I mean, 10 million. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go get them 10 millions. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go
And
to
it
get.
is still a mandatory, bro. It
Yeah.
is still a mandatory. So it ain't like Ryan Garcia chasing Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? At least it's a mandatory. It's a contender in his weight class.
Not an
I wouldn't
exhibition.
be. Yeah, I wouldn't be overly mad at that. I just personally, it's my preference. I just wish he would have turned down the franchise belt, and I wish he wouldn't be running around here calling himself undisputed. I'd rather him fight Devin Haney before he started making those claims. Again, I
But
mean,
at the same, go
that's
ahead.
just my thought, bro.
But at
That's
But
the
it.
same
you
time,
gotta you gotta understand that even if he don't feel like he is, he have to say that. I mean, how many
it sells.
boxes you know? How many boxes you know? You know, a lot of time they training and their coach is like, "Come on, champ," and they're not even champ. So you gotta you gotta pump yourself up. Even if he doesn't believe it, he have to say he's undisputed. Especially when Mauricio had told Haney. He told Haney, "Look, you are a champ. He's champ." Even though we don't like it. I mean, we don't like the whole how confusing it is, you know. But that's what he told them. I mean, what can we do at that point? Just
But
watch them fight after.
Edwin, what's up, brother? But look. At the end of the day, the reason he's undisputed is not so much because of the franchise. Watch this. If you ask the other federations who their champion is, they're gonna tell you it's Teofimo Lopez. Nobody else.
They have to be recognized.
Right? He is recognized as their main guy. I mean, we're not talking about WBC, we're talking about the other ones. Then you come with WBC with the BS franchise, and the rulings in the WBC clearly states that the franchise is above the regular champion. And that's when the lineal comes in. I mean, you got to realize the lineal is not given to you. You have to do something special. That's the Jack Dempsey title.
That's an important one.
Oh, can't nobody accuse you of doing something. You know where we went wrong, knockout? I think the one that should have never accepted a belt was Haney, because here's why. Now Haney's paying sanction on a belt that does not place him as the guy for the WBC. David Haney is like the side chick, if you will, for the WBC. And it's not fair for David Haney. That's the reason Bill Haney was talking about suing the WBC, because they realized, okay, so I'm champ and I'm paying you commission, but I'm not champ. And he's undisputed, but I'm champ and I'm paying you commission. And I think that's where I think Haney should have been the one that said, you know what? Nah, I'm fighting this guy for the belt.
But nobody will fight him, bro. I think he did
agree.
that. I heard what you're saying. I hear exactly what you're saying. And I agree with you, but I just think nobody's fighting him already. So maybe in his mind and his dad's mind, if we have this belt, maybe we can get somebody to fight us now, because nobody will fight him. Like, and he wants to fight. Obviously, he calls out everybody. He moves like he wants to fight, but he can't get anybody to fight him. So I hear what you're saying.
He's doing
but
it
at the same time. Yeah, but at the same time, like he probably took that belt like, okay, if I get this WBC belt, maybe I can get somebody to fight me now. Maybe they'll have to come to me now. And whereas that's still not happening. So
correct.
you know, at the point now that he sees that I'm in agreement with you, I would just drop it. It doesn't mean anything.
Send
it doesn't
the
mean
message.
anything clearly.
Send
Go
the
ahead
message.
and drop it. You know what I mean? But
Haney was told about it. They told him, like some people from his camp was telling him, like, be careful, just a heads up, what's gonna happen. And you know, but I mean,
he was warned.
Who's gonna? Not everybody's gonna decline the belt. You know, most people's gonna take it and whatever comes with it. You know, but it's just unfortunately this is the situation. But hopefully, if they don't fight next, they fight the one after, and they clear that out by themselves in the ring, and we'll know for sure who's the real undisputed.
yeah,
Man, you keep boxing in the building. What's up, brother? But yeah, look, at the end of the day, watch this. if Devin Haney can also say, all right, let me go get Fortuna's out the way while he's getting combozos, because Fortuna is also one of my mandatory. He can't even think of Ryan because we already know he ain't getting Ryan. Ryan is either gonna fight Pacquiao or Tank Davis.
Somebody, yeah.
Name Ryan out of your head. It's not gonna happen. Go out there and get Fortuna out of the way. Okay. Cambosos will be taken care of, and then you can keep applying the pressure. But if I was Devin Haney, I would pull a Riddick Bowe for the right reasons. Riddick Bowe dropped his belt because he didn't want to fight the real deal. I mean, Lennox. But if I was Devin Haney, I would actually, man, we got social media, bro. You know the power of social media. You know how much power Devin Haney will gain if he makes a video with that belt in his hand talking about how the WBC is pimping him and he's in disagreement. And so the belt is worth nothing. And he just, not even a trash can, he dumps it inside one of his toilets at his house and then flushes even for the water to run over. Just send a tough statement like that. That's what he needs to do. Vacate that belt. Don't let the WBC pimp you anymore. Keep putting the work. Now you're in the eyes of everybody because, damn, this young champ just dropped his bell. Blah, blah. You know how it is nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Apply the public pressure as well, because I also think I understand the Lopez side of the argument. Look, 14-0. I fought Comey, Nakatani, then Lomachenko. I don't even have 17 professional fights.
Even Magdaleno.
Yeah, this kid
earlier.
Magdaleno was a hell of a fight
at the time, yes.
And he knocked him out. He schooled him and then knocked him out. Get this fighter, now this fighter that has over 20 professional matches, he just wants to keep fighting this level of opposition, then jump to the lineal. I'm not giving it to him. I can kind of see and understand up to a certain level that same argument. We're still cooking, brother. We're still cooking. I can kind of see that argument, and I understand. See, that's what the issue is that it's hard to go against any of these sides, because at the end of the day, as a boxing fan, I want to see the best fight the best. But as a boxing fan, I also have to respect the decision of the boxer that says, I've put all this hard work so early in my career. I've defeated all these monsters, and he's been fighting low-level opposition. His last fight, he went 12 rounds with a fighter that Gamboa, who used to be a monster, but
old and injured.
And now he wants to jump from that directly to me when he's got a Fortuna as a mandatory. He's got, like, watch this. Can you imagine, to go back to what we were talking about early, can you imagine if Devin Haney says, Nakatani made Lopez look really bad. I won Nakatani. And he ain't got to knock him out. He just has to make him look silly. The entire fight. What you think the fans gonna be saying?
In the fight.
you that's a great thought, and I would take it even a step further, because Teofimo Lopez said something earlier about beat Rolly Romero to prove that you deserve a shot at me. He should go beat Rolly Romero.
And he could.
Like that's what I would like. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, I like that he wants to fight everybody. I don't blame him for not fighting anybody. Teofimo Lopez's team, his father, Bob Arum, because of the fighters that he had signed to him, they did a great job of building Teofimo and getting him great fights early in his career. But for some reason, whoever you want to blame, Devin Haney can't get those fights. So now in 2021, it's time for him to move different, bro. He should definitely do that. He should go fight common opponents, like you just said, or even furthermore, use Teofimo's own words against him. Teofimo, you said I need to fight Rolly Romero. So guess what? I'm going to fight him. I'm going to make him look stupid. And then now you need to come fight me. Yeah. So I just want to see the fight too. And I agree with that though. But he should start moving like that for sure.
Every fighter should listen. Holyfield did it to Tyson and he worked. Holyfield did it to Tyson and he worked. Why can't every other fighter do the same thing? At the end of the day, not only are you chasing and eliminating excuses, but you're giving the sport that's giving you everything great fights. You're positioning yourself as the literal boogeyman, the one that's like, I want Lopez. Damn, there's a tree in the way. Chopped. I want Lopez. There's a wall. Dynamite. Boof, out the way. I want Lopez. There's a river. Kayak. And you keep chasing. And once you got Lopez against the corner, if he moves up and weight and he doesn't fight you, then we be the first one over here talking about Lopez literally ducked Haney.
Even his own fan would admit that.
Correct. But when you want to jump from Gamboa to the guy that with less than 17 fight, it's already the lineal, I can kind of see that. And on top of that, the guy has a $10 million offer with his mandatory. I can kind of see why. But you know what happened is, man, I also think that in the same way Deontay Wilder's brand has been hurt by these content creators, Devin Haney's brand is starting to take a toll as well. Because if you look at these content creators, it's all Devin Haney is being dubbed by Lopez. It's all Lopez doesn't fight Haney because of racism, and then the casuals start seeing that. Some might start develop a hate, and the brand takes a hit. Like, for example, when was the last time you heard of Wilder? When was the last time you heard of Wilder? You just don't hear that. You just don't hear that. So if I was Devin Haney, or even say that he does keeps the belt because he's giving him more money. Let's just say he wants to keep the belt. Share, fine, no problem. Go out there and get you a Fortuna. Fortuna, get you a Nakatani, get him out the way. Go a Rolly Romero, get him out of the way. You can outbox.
The guy Edwin said, Isaac, what's the guy, the little Mike Tyson?
Yep, he's coming up.
Isaac Cruz. Whoo, that guy ain't no joke, man.
And he's gonna steal Devin Haney's bread.
Dude, that guy ain't no joke.
Position because people are seeing the way he's fighting, and now the curiosity is like, damn, I want to see that guy versus the takeover. So he's got to move quick. He ain't got a lot of time, even though he's young. If he wants that lineal, if he wants all those belts, man, he got to move quick. And he got to put something on the table that, for example, Lopez said, I can't be the one that brings everything. Come back with something so that when we get together, your something mixed with my everything makes for a bigger fight. I understand all those arguments, but at the end of the day, it's hard for us boxing fans because we want to see a good fight, and we're seeing good fights not happening because of this very same credible lot of reasons. So it's a tough situation. It's a very tough situation. Champ Ross here says that's how it used to be, and that's how it should be. But these fighters today aren't built like that. Instead of fighting off, let me see, because I can hardly read this. Instead of fighting it way to the top, they'd rather sit and take risk and battle on Twitter about. He couldn't have said
no. Yeah, he said take no risk. They rather take no risk.
Yeah, he couldn't have said it better. You can watch a 36 round fight on Twitter every single day from these fighters, but it's not taking place in the right place. So I mean, I can kind of understand. I understand. That's why, if I was Devin Haney's dad, Bill Haney, somebody whom I blame a lot for the situation, somebody who's also out there unintentionally, and I want to make that very clear, unintentionally hurting his son's brand because he's playing into the narrative of every channel that he visits. If I was him, I would sit him down and be like, son, look, Lopez is too high of a mountain right now, and I believe you're the best boxer in the world, but money-wise, publicly, resume-wise, you're not there yet. Let's go out there and get us some Fortuna, or like you said, let's use his own condition against him. Let's go out there and get us a Rolly Romero, get him out the way, and then we push forward. And then if he ducks, then we come up with that narrative, which will be very credible.
Like you said, bro. Like you call out the biggest, right? You call out whoever the champion is. If it's Charlo, you call out Canelo. That's cool. Or if it's Haney, you call out Teofimo, or so forth and so on. Now, once you do that, you start making moves, and your actions start matching up with your words by fighting like opponents, listening to what they say in the media, and then trying to use that against them by moving in a way to use their words against them, and then you hopefully get the fight. So,
correct.
I agree with everything that you're saying, bro. Like, the only thing again, I just come back to it one more time. The only thing that I don't like is the franchise belt, bro. I just don't
It
like
should
them
disappear. I
asking
don't
for
like
it.
it either.
Yeah, I don't like that because that's what leads me to believe, okay, if you have to ask for this, and you know this dude is the WBC champion already, if you have to ask for the franchise belt, why are you asking for it? Why is your promoter? Because your promoter can't do it without your permission. Because at the end of the day, it's your name that you have to sign it. So why even do that in the first place? That's the
Right.
only issue I have. Everything else you guys are saying, I agree with. I wish that Tiafimo would have came out after that fight. Nah, bro, I'm not undisputed. I don't want no franchise belt. I want to win every single belt that I get, and I want to go win the WBC belt off of Devin Haney. That's what I
Right.
wish would happen as a boxing fan, but I understand that it brings more money to him, and that recognition is going to allow him to be able to claim undisputed and get more money. That's probably why he's able to get this $10 million that they're talking about giving him for Cambosis. But I just wish my fighters would move just a little bit more honorable, bro, and with a little bit more integrity and want to fight for their belts. Don't give me no damn belt. I want to fight for it. And
You
so
know
that's
what I
why I
wish?
agree with you on Devin Haney too. Like, bro, go fight for your belt. They try to give you a belt, don't even take it, bro. Let everybody know I want to fight for everything that I have because I'm a fighter, bro. I'm a boxer. And so
You know,
that's my only pushback, bro.
yeah. You know one thing I wish though? I wish one that every single fighter across the entire division, every champion, will protest by dropping their belts. That's one. Until they get rid of a bunch of this nonsensical belts, we not even gonna we don't care for none of those belts, right? If you drop it, make sure that the other guys are in tune. They're not gonna fight for the vacate belt. Nothing. I'm dropping it. Get rid of all these nonsensical belts.
But
Two, if
most of
that
them,
doesn't happen, I want to see mandatories reach their spot through a tournament because that way the WBC would not have the BS like, yeah, that dude over there selling chilaquiles in the corner. No, the one next to the taco spot. Let's name him mandatory. They wouldn't have that option. No, let's see who the mandatory is through a tournament based mandatory. The guy that's fighting the top 10 to put himself there against the next dog in the fight with the top dog. But at the same time, look at what I have to agree with this. Too young to fight once or twice a year.
All
Only
facts, Edwin. All
yes,
facts.
and see,
they
and that's why I give respect to Alvarez. Alvarez is the face of boxing, and he's fighting like he was a hungry up and coming fighter 3-4 times a year. Every champion should be giving us at least 3 fights a year. Every young fighter should be giving us at least 4 fights a year. At the end of the day, listen, you can have a training camp for 2 months, fight, and take a month off to be with your family. Take those sacrifices until you're the guy, and then you can drop it down to 2 fights a year.
just like I said earlier. Remember, it's like Mayweather, man.
Yeah,
Whatever he do, everybody wants to do. He wants to fight once a
Everybody
everybody.
year.
want to do that.
Everybody wants to do the same thing. They're not Mayweather. I mean, he could pull it out. He put in his own work and all that. But for other people, especially the young ones, if you're hungry, man, you gotta like stay busy.
Correct.
Stay busy.
And
You keep racking those wins.
forget that again, it goes back to the Mayweather. And guys, I'm not knocking that Mayweather did that. I think it was a great thing, but it was only designed for him. It only worked for him. You understand what I'm saying? It only worked for him. Think about this. Take a shy fighter and tell him go out there and act like Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna show you how great I am. I don't wrestle with an alligator. I don't toss with a whale. You know what I mean? He wouldn't do a good job because that's not his personality. That was designed for Ali. It worked for Ali. You're the quiet type. Hey, be you. Now you got these fighters out here. See, TBE, what he used to do, fight once a year and then talk a lot. I'm gonna do the same thing because he made this much millions. Yeah, but
Exactly.
he had the right personality to do that and keep people hating him throughout the entire year.
And we forget something. We forget something that before he was on Money Mayweather, he
He
was
was
Pretty
pretty
Boy.
boy.
So he was putting the work. He earned it, but that's him.
Thank you. He did what we're advising Haney to do, Charlo to do. Go out there and fight everybody And then once you have the key to the house in your hands, it's your house. And you sit in whatever room you want, and you allow whoever you want to allow in the house. In
Hey,
the same
buddy,
way
but
Floyd,
heads up though. I gotta go. I gotta get ready and start working, bro. But I'll try to
you're
jump in,
cutting off, brother.
or at least. Sorry
Yes,
about
you're
that.
cutting off.
Sorry, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Your image is.
Sorry about that. It's just I'm gonna get ready. I'm about to leave. But thank you guys for having me. It was great talking to both of you guys and everything, brother. And I'll try
Anytime,
to
man.
read the comments later on when I get a chance, brother. Right?
I got you, brother. Hey,
Same
take
to you,
care.
Johnny.
All
Have a
right,
good
thank you,
night.
brother. All right, Boseo, papi.
You know it, brother.
Ya tú sabes, dale go.
Tranquilo. But yeah, man, that's all we're basically wanting in boxing is just to see fighters do things right, to see fighters earn things the way it's supposed to be earned. Because in that road, the way that you're earning people, your status by knocking people out of the way, and your level of opposition going up every time you fight, that the hardcore fan and even the casual fan is gonna be like, "Damn, this kid is good." Yeah, I think he does needs to fight Lopez. I think Lopez does needs to give him a shot. But look, he's beaten up. He's already made Rolly look like a ridiculous. He's already played with Nakatani, and Nakatani made Lopez look bad. He when you start seeing this, I mean, come on, can't nobody knock that. And if you do, then you just a hater. Can't nobody talk about Devin Haney in a negative way if he was to take those steps. If he was to not, can't nobody talk about Charlo in a negative way if he was to take those steps. If you just knock those obstacles out of the way and you keep yourself relevant and you keep growing and growing as a top dog, all you're doing is gaining credit, man.
Thanks,
And
bro.
ultimately, the top dog is going to have to give you the fight or risk being called a dog by everybody. And social pressure is a real pressure. Trust me.
Yeah, it's about making them run out of options, man. And the only way you can do that is by fighting the best and worry about making your own legacy. That's all you have to do. Like, you know what? He don't want to fight me right now. Who y'all say the second best is? I'm finna go fight him. You know what I mean? So I totally agree, bro. I'm about to get ready to go run as
All right,
well.
brother.
Raw Boxing, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Anytime, brother.
I subscribed to you when I first heard you, man. You keep it unbiased, down the middle. I like the fact that you allow people to disagree with you or have a different point of view. You don't cut them off. You let them talk, and then you give your point of view, and we keep it respectful. It's good to have a boxing channel that has civil discourse, bro, because not a lot of boxing channels have that. They'll cut you off or mute you, or if you have a different perspective, you all of a sudden become a racist, and it's just crazy. So I appreciate you for keeping it real and having me on, man. And you got a new fan to me, bro. I'll be watching.
I appreciate you, man. Hey, just pass the word around, and anytime you see me on, man, just be on the look for the link. Everybody's welcome here. All right, man.
For sure, bro. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, be good, brother.
Peace.
All right, people. So I think we've had fun. Those that have stuck around, I want to really, really appreciate you. I think we've covered pretty much everything we wanted to talk about. Maybe we left some things out. Right now, I just can't get them on my head. But that'll be something that we could take care of the next life. We had fun. We exchanged ideas. No, we didn't agree with everything, but we kept it respectful. Nobody got timed out. Nobody got blocked. Nobody got kicked out of the life. You know why? Because my platform is open, but it's freedom. It's representing freedom. It's representing the freedom you have to step in here and agree or disagree with me. It's representing the freedom to disagree and still remain in this platform. That's what I want as a content creator. We're working to bring the names in. You see that I've been doing something that not everybody's doing. You know, I want you, the fan, you, to have the opportunity of asking any fighter the questions yourself. Because I think it's wonderful to make that connection with the fighter you support. Yeah, it's cool watching a fighter being interviewed, but it's even better if you get to ask the question yourself and he gets to reply to you personally. We're working. It might take a while. It might take a month, 2 months, a year or two. But the big fish is coming. But in the meantime, smaller fishes are coming. In the meantime, you're still going to have the same freedom. I want to thank you guys for being with me. Once again, before I go, I want to remind you, you can follow me on all of my social media platforms at Raw Boxing TV. If you want to donate and support the channel through Cash App, my Cash App is $ Raw Boxing TV, as you see it displayed at the left bottom side of the corner. I want to thank you guys for sticking around with me. You can also find me in Twitch at Raw Boxing TV. As a matter of fact, I'm live streaming in Twitch as we speak simultaneously with YouTube. And so be on the lookout for the next live. I'll probably cover the fight Saturday night if I'm here. And if I'm not, then it'll be till next time. As of now, that is it. Thanks to everybody that stuck around. Raw Boxing TV, we are out.